Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the Chiefs at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Although the NFL season is done, there's still many games to be played between college basketball, NBA, NHL, and WNBA. There's always time to embrace your inner underdog. All you got to do is predict higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. If you have yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code ChiefConcerns, one word, to claim your free pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So let's continue to keep the good vibes going into the spring season. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, we have a special episode tonight. And tonight it's mock draft. It's the Chief Concerns official mock draft. You know, a lot of these other channels are doing a million mock drafts here and there. We've done the homework. Every Monday show's been homework, a showcase, a highlight of all these players that we're about to talk about. Around 50 players we've showcased over the last 7 weeks of our Chief Concerns prospect shows. And tonight is a culmination of all that research into a 7-round mock draft by us 3 hosts right here. And of course, you guys are going to pitch in the comments, letting us know what we should be taking. Because it's going to be a giant war room in this episode tonight. A giant war room of us looking at what's there when we pick. And so I'm really excited for it. And of course, you guys send in your mock drafts as well. So after we're done with our Chief Concerns mock draft, we'll kind of look back at everything that we got going on in our Chief Concerns family. Guys, how are you doing? And also, last time we'll say the words mock draft for about a year, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's almost like Christmas is what it's like. So we are sitting over here. I'm excited. I'm glad it is finally here tomorrow. Thinking about this day, and it brings back memories for me. It really does. Like just the nervousness. Having your family there, everybody knows what day this is. Like your life is about to change, truly. And so the gravity of that is really hard to really kind of to prepare for, you know, because a lot of guys are going to be sitting right there with their families, not at the draft. There's going to be some guys at the draft suited and booted, ready to go, to look good, have their hat on. They kind of know where it's going. Teams are, you know, kind of reaching out to guys at this moment. But this, man, without a doubt, I think is going to be a very, very intriguing draft, especially for the Chiefs, but just for the overall NFL, because there's a lot of questions we don't quite know from what we've seen in free agency to where it is right now. You know, quarterback-wise, who's going to get who, you know, if the guys are ready. This right here, I think, man, is it's like one of those drafts that you can see for the next 5 years what it's going to be. What do you expect it to be, right? You know, from this new talent coming in. So, what do you think, Tej?
I don't know about a year without mock drafts, but quite a while. It is. I'm ready. It's like I've done so many over the season, but I haven't done a lot in the last week or two, really, just because I'm just now it's just tightening up and go. I just want to see it unfold now, you know. So I'm so excited. The first day, it's funny. It's supposed to be the most exciting because it's at the highest end. But this draft's so pretty much even from pick 15 to 20 to 90 as far as these guys' ratings overall. So for me, I can't wait. Day 2 is my favorite by far. 1, we have 3 picks. 2, kind of right in the middle of it all. But and just so many guys. Those guys will be our starters in the next year or two, right? They'll be integral parts of our team.
Yeah. This, I mean, we're seeing this is the new guard coming in. Some of the old guards. We're seeing now guys up in age. We know this is going to be the last year, probably truly for Travis Kelce. You know, that era kind of leaving us. Now on the other side of it, Patrick Mahomes has kind of got a lot older from where he has been in the past. And I was just kind of thinking about this. Maybe y'all thinking the same way. But I'm sitting there saying, hey, look, Patrick Mahomes, even though he's young, he's had a couple of injuries on his ankle year after year, just like little nicks and stuff like that, which is going to slow him down somewhat. Okay, he's got a new, somewhat of a receiving core, right? And he knows in the future it's going to look a little bit different. I'm glad the guys are down there throwing with him right now, getting all the work in that they possibly can. But as soon as these guys get drafted, it is immediately come to the facility. Hey, get ready. We are going into a mini camp. Okay, trying to get at least somewhat familiar with you. And that's another thing, man. It is crazy the amount and the speed everything works. I was talking to this lady yesterday, sports psychologist, kind of hooked up, was talking about a few things about guys coming into the NFL. And I said, man, the pressure that they're about to see right now, they had no idea. What they thought it was in college, they have no idea what it's going to be in the NFL. For the simple fact that, you got a small college town, you need to kind of look at it this way. But I remember getting to Philly and being on the page, me and Jermaine Mayberry, I had a brick talking about rebuilding the Eagles. And it was right there in front of the Philadelphia Inquirer. I had a hard hat on. We both had hard hats and bricks. And I was sitting there just reminiscing, like, here I come from a college that you was probably getting maybe 30,000 people at a game. Now I'm going up there to Vet Stadium. Old Vet Stadium, about 75, 80,000. Okay. And, this is Philly. This ain't like just any old regular football town. This is Philadelphia Eagles. And then things you would hear, social media now it's exploded to the point where it is right now. I said, but to put that on a young man who's coming out of college at 23 years old, that is something else. That is absolutely something else. But the good part of it is you're going to have your family and people around you who've been with you for your entire lives that support you. And if you hold dear to that, I think this transition will be fine. I see my nephews on here. I'm going to say hi to the chat as well. Everybody that's in here, happy. My nephew actually went up there with me in Philadelphia when I was there. So me and Neff was up there when I lived. Greatest time ever, Neff. We had some really, really good times. But it took having somebody like that with me to help with the transition. Somebody familiar, like a familiar voice, somebody is going to protect you, tell you the truth, hold you accountable. It was like not just me making it, but it was everybody else. It's the whole transition for everybody. So by saying that, Neff, good to see you, love you. I know you remember those days up there in old Philadelphia. And we actually stayed at the Residence Inn my first year. Residence Inn is crazy. I had to tell you about that.
The whole year?
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole year. The whole team, like all the guys had to move there first. Like when we first got up there, that's how it was. They move us from like one hotel to the next hotel. And the dynamics in Philly is like totally different because I was still looking for a house where we're going to go. Was I going to go and stay on the Pennsylvania side or the Jersey side? So I was looking at a lot of different places. So it was like the transition at the time when I was playing that my agent was like, hey, look, you just worry about that. Okay. Don't worry about anything else. We'll get you where you need to get to. Plus, they took care of us over at the Residence Inn. They, everybody was beautiful. Like I said, just took care of us. So it was a sight to see, man. A sight to see.
Did you get a continental breakfast?
Oh, every morning.
There you go.
Every morning. Eggs up. But I was going to when I would come in. Oh man, what's the spot down there in South Philly? But they would have like this potato and egg sandwich. Oh my gosh. And so I would buy like maybe 10 of them for like some of the vets. The vets like, oh, JD, in the morning, you got to stop somewhere and grab us. I'm like, all right, cool. I got you. No problem. Yeah. So, it was amazing time. So I love you. I love you too, Neff. I love you. Man, the depths of our love. That. So, Mike Brennan, good to see you, my guy. G Pick is here as well. Justin Blackwell. Yeah, DFN Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf. Oh, okay. I would be ecstatic if Derek Harmon is there at 31. We'll see. Brian Birch is here as well. Let me see who else we got in here. Demetrio Spence, what's going down? Linda Hunter, how you doing, Linda Hunter? The barbershop is in the house. Drew Boucher, appreciate it. Staying patient with us. Hannah, thank you so much. And also, too, Marcus, did anybody send you any DMs as far as perfect?
We got a good amount.
Good. So we're gonna show y'all mock drafts as well. See what they look like. We're gonna show ours up here. See what everybody thinks. Marcus, what'd you see as far as from the draft, from what we've seen, from what you've seen from ours? What'd you get of that?
From us three?
Us three, yeah. What did you?
So we talked, a lot of us drafted, we kind of went in the same kind of position groups, I would say. All three of us had different first round picks. Two of us had the same positions. Teja surprised me because that should be a JD pick, his first round pick. But you guys in the chat probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, overall, I mean, I thought we had kind of stuck to the same positions we talked about in the show. So I mean, like we're kind of all in the same headspace as far as the positions we're going to go. So that's kind of what I noticed from it, and I think we all be happy with each one of our drafts. I think just based on what I saw.
Okay, Tej, what was your, I guess your you're the chef. What was your sauce as far as what was you thinking about preparing when you was coming in? What were you looking? So I got back here on the board. I kind of wrote up when we was coming in here, kind of like the tiers. Our top tier, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. What did you feel like the Chiefs in itself needed to address? How you thought about this out? How you thought about like your decisions on some of your picks?
Your mic is muted, Teja.
That comes from, I guess, the good experience of doing so many of these. I get to see the flows of what, and they're not going to have this exposure yet because it's only the time when they're doing the draft. But I got to see which positions lasted longer than other positions. So I knew I could take one in one round because there would be a bunch left a couple rounds later. Someone's really trying to honk their horns over there. Guy, chivalry's dead, guys. Not everyone wants to go to the door to pick up their date anymore. Some people are just like, come on now. It's our fifth date. Let's go. Just be able to see what positions are just deeper, even though you might like a guy. How much more do you like him than another position that's a lot more scarce, right? Like if one position's about to fall off a cliff and it jumps down a tier, but maybe the other player at a different position is slightly better, but there's like 3 or 4 guys in that tier that you like. What do you do there, right? It's tough, but I guess we'll dive into that in a minute.
Okay. All right. Good. Linda Hunter had a question. Said, did you get booed much in Philly, JD? You know what? I can't say I did. I don't think I got booed as much as they booed the entire team. That's what it was more so. So it was like if something didn't happen, oh, boo, yo. I'm like, is that our own fans booing us? Even if we didn't do something right? I think it was a little bit more of that, Linda. If you're on the, back then, the radio, Howard Eskins and all of them jokers, and he would absolutely lay into us. And the way they would talk about the team and the players, man, I felt like it was like they give you a complex. And I just couldn't understand it. I just couldn't. And I'm sitting there thinking like, and here's the guys that would come in the locker room. Howard Eskin, okay, Stephen A. Smith was another one that would come into the locker room to come talk to guys. So this is like part of like when I see Stephen A., I'm just like, man, I know his joker back in Philly. And he's a little bit more balanced, but of course he still had that, a lot of like that edge to him, like a nastiness, you know what I mean? Straightforward. They didn't really care about any type of excuses. They didn't want to hear it in Philly. They didn't want to hear any excuses whatsoever. It's like, how are you going to fix this? How are you going to get better? Okay. And we need a promise on that as well. So they ain't just going to take the little, the whole political answer. They want to know how you're going to get better. And so who was on the staff? Ray Rose was the head coach. You had John Gruden, who was the offensive coordinator. We we had Sean Payton at one point. We had Sean McDermott at another point. Andy Reid came in my last year there. John Harbaugh was another one. So we had some guys that, kind of cut their teeth up in Philly for the first time, get into the NFL. But Philly was an absolute brutal spot. It was. So still the same. It really is,
Yeah. Being Sixers fans, we see the fan base root against the team. I mean, like they'd rather be in the. It seems like they find comfort being in the lottery, being like a bottom feeder, than like being a top team. It's a really weird dynamic. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
They say that they like running their stars out of town. That was kind of like the reputation that they had. Was really they made the stars really uncomfortable. The only one I think that they didn't really run out of town was AI. They loved AI. Loved it.
Yeah.
And they should have, seriously. But other than that, man, everybody else, man, they was hard on.
And he almost got traded a couple times, which is funny. Before he got traded, but I mean, in his prime, he almost got traded a couple times. So, yeah.
Wow. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're getting a question here. True Champ, who are we wanting ideally first round? True Champ, we're about to get into that, buddy. So you can sit back and relax. So as we mentioned on Monday, this episode, we're going to be using the PFF mock draft generator, and so we're going to simulate the other picks, and when we get to our pick, it's going to be one giant war room on the show. So that's how we're going to go with it. And Teja, you already have the screen already up.
Yep. I already hit the simulator to our pick. So I'll take a little scroll down memory lane here just to see. Not too crazy. See some guys are already breaking our hearts that went.
Sims at 19.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go see what we got here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start going down. Unless you want me to go to a particular position.
Well, let's first talk about like what we think the needs are. Okay, the most pressing needs. I know we didn't quite specify what they were, but in my estimation, I think the need for the Kansas City Chiefs, because we do have a lot of like 1-year deals with guys on the D line. Same thing with Kolak is going to be up. FAU is going to come up the next couple of years. So probably addressing the D line, maybe defensive end, is a necessity for us. So when I sit there, needs a tier 1, I got offensive tackle because we got Jalen Moore for the 2 years, who's really only had the 5 games to prove himself. Other than that, 2-year deal doesn't quite say, hey, we're sold on you fully, right? Do the Chiefs go after another guy said on a tier 1 is offensive tackle? Is that something that we want to address? I think we do. If the right guy is available. So I think tier 1 that we're thinking probably the first 3 rounds, we want to address probably the tier 1, right? Are we in agreement with this? Right? We're GMs now. This is how the war room is working. So are we in agreement that maybe O-line, defensive tackle, defensive end are our most pressing needs right now?
In that order or just in general?
Just in general. Like that.
Yeah,
like,
no, 100%.
Yeah, so if we're sitting there saying that we're making decisions right now, okay, as a team while we're sitting here, we're seeing our most pressing needs, tier 1, offensive tackle, if the right one's available, defensive end and defensive tackle is what we're probably looking for, correct? Yeah?
Yeah.
We're talking about round 1.
Yes.
Yeah, round 1.
Yes.
And I would even say the tier 1 takes maybe all 3 rounds, okay? And we could talk about and kind of discuss where these things are. But I do believe tier 1 is, go ahead. Come on.
I think it gets a little murky after round 1.
Okay.
Because then you get more players off the board and there might be a higher tier player at a different position than a higher tier of need do you know what I mean?
I got you.
Like you might have a tier 3 player at a tier 1 need, but a tier like 1-ish tier 2 player at a tier 2 need, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if we're saying, okay, the murkiness, you saying at the round 1.
I think it gets a little, because then you got at our point, there were 62 players off the board. So, we don't know where it's going to go from there. That can very well happen in round 1. I mean, that's kind of what happened with, kind of in a way with McDuffie. They weren't expecting him to be on there. I don't know how high they had him on previously or how high they had cornerback that year. But when he was there, they were like, okay, he's so high on our board. We have to just get him. Like, it's just we didn't even think he'd be here. So there could be a player like that we're not even expecting from maybe another position who might fall, right? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys, but
well, a lot of guys, and I do agree somewhat, but it had to be a guy that is we had to say is almost a no-miss guy. That I would assume by saying this guy was rated almost round 1 draft. They had him projected round 1, maybe moving into 2, that if he's that good, we just can't pass him up, right? Especially like you were saying before, because of these certain positions there's a lot of depth there. There's great drafts for defensive ends, maybe halfbacks, defensive tackles. You could kind of play around with that somewhat. And so if you want to go get a guy that like maybe a safety, like, oh, we got to go get him on corner. We had to go get this guy, as opposed to what we're saying the need would be in our tier 1 positioning. Okay. Right.
And I would say for me, as far as the round 1, depending on who is there, I think OT takes a step back based on if a guy, like, for example, I'm not high on Connerly. If Simmons was there, I would say that would be a round 1 guy. Sure. But now that he's not there, OT goes from the top 3 spot, kind of like it lowers. And then at that point, it goes for best available DT, edge, running back. And I think those go ahead of the O tackle because I don't want to waste do what we did with Wanya, right? Where we draft another project tackle round 2, round 3, and we don't let these other guys develop that we've already drafted the last 2 years. Then becomes like, it's pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas I'd rather go with our edge or D tackle or running back ahead of that. But initially, I would say tackle OT would be one of the positions I won in the first round. But now we got this 31st pick. I'm off of Connerly, so then it goes to the DNDT spot, and that's where the battle for me. And this pick is DNDT. That's
okay. So a guy would be a priority. So I'm assuming, let's just say there was a good guard. Okay, highly rated guard. Even though we got a lot of guards on the squad, right? That we know can play, come in. Is that a high priority for us because he's a high guard to go pick? If he's available in the second round, I would say we bypass him and go for the things that we need more so than anything else. Correct? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, that comes down to, do you think that Trey Smith's going to be signed? We all assume he is, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming. If they threw him this much, I'm assuming they'd probably say, look, let's go ahead and bite the bullet, at least keeping one of the guys here. And so that was the reason they got rid of Joe Tooney because of the age, not because of production. He was our best offensive lineman. It's pretty much your age, and what could we get from him? So that was it. I think that's the reason they got rid of it.
And then Kingsley's pretty much going to battle it out for left guard. So, yeah, it would have to be an extremely high, like, low bust rate, high ceiling guard for me to go guard here, I think. Now, if they want to go a tackle who can maybe play guard in case for that year that Moore and Taylor have tackle lockdown, then sure, I'm okay with that. But
we got that. We got that in King Suma. We got a guy that was going to be a starting tackle for us, and it's like, yo, you know what? Let's go on, move him inside. He's good enough.
Well, yeah, but we moved him inside, not as like hold till tackle's available. Tackle was available. They're not going him like that. I'm talking about a guy who will take over a tackle position once it's open, not someone who, swung and missed, and then we have to put him at guard. Yeah, at least that's my opinion on guard. Plus, I think we could find a guard that would fit the system a little later. But yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I actually, if you see here, I put in the filter positions. I put tackle, D end, and interior defense there. So I already have those three kind of. That's all that's showing up right now.
All right.
So yeah, I will. I'll say my top three, and then I think you guys are going to agree with that top three. I think it's in no order: Harmon, Pierce, and Connerly. I know Mark's not a Connerly fan, but I would definitely put him in the top three. And I also think the Chiefs are putting him in that top three if this is what's left on the board. So,
yeah,
that's my three guys, I think.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I can narrow it down. I mean, for me, I just have two. The two guys I'm going for here is either Pierce or Harmon. That's why I'm between those two guys.
you're not a Connerly guy at all, huh?
No.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Maybe if he tore his patellar tendon after Game 5, he'd be higher on your draft board.
No, he's not good enough. Even if he tore it, if he tore both of them, he wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Yeah, like
I mean his tape and his PFF grades say otherwise, but yeah.
So Noah John Marshall, what's up, Noah John? How's it going out there, man? And Bali on the other side of the world. So we've been talking about left tackle being a problem for 2+ years. Just go get your favorite tackle who isn't in the top 10 and solve this for a decade. It's worth it. Okay, it's not a top 10. So I'm assuming you're saying, Noah John, that you would move up to get a guy that's not in your top 10. So you would actually try to move up from 31 to, let's say, 25 or 20th or something like that. Where's it? Go to your picks, round one picks again, Tej. Let me see these. How it shakes out, who they took. Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's crazy.
This is very surprising watching this from what this is going off the board. Now, is this how they do it? They just kind of measure like the newest projections of what they're hearing, or what? How does this? Because mine's never looked like this as far as guys, like some of the guys going this.
How did it? There's like a formula it goes by. I think this one has, oh God, what do they have? They have position of need on a scale. They have PFF versus fan rating on a scale. Yeah, I mean, who are you expecting to be at our pick that is not there?
Well, from what Noah John was talking about is obviously Josh Simmons is the pick they were thinking if he was going to go up to move to get that guy. I think the Chiefs were impressed enough about him to even say something like this. I think he would be a guy that you get for the future. Yeah, and let's make no mistake about it. Okay, we can pick all the things around getting guys. The number one priority is to protect PM15, Patrick Mahomes, because without him and him throwing the ball and him being successful, the Chiefs are not going to be as successful as they should. Now, they'll be successful because you still got good players. We have great players. But your quarterback, because you do put a lot of money invested into him, you want to make sure that that protection is around him as well. I think it's what teams are starting to figure out. Well, Caleb Williams got to get more protection. They try to get, more protection down there in the Texans, but they got rid of what's the name because he was going to be a problem. So they're starting to figure out we need to protect our most valuable asset. Okay, that's the reason they came and got from here to Cincinnati, and so
Orlando Brown.
And so that was the reason they want to protect their biggest asset, which they should. I agree with That should be done. So what Noah John was saying, if there was a chance and opportunity that Josh Simmons is somewhere in that tier of 25, somewhere around there, do you move up to go get him? You can almost make an argument you can. I would, possibly. Especially if we're sitting over looking at all these guys right now from what you have when you put in just positions, you could probably get some of these other guys, that second round pick, that we're talking about. So I don't know. So let's deal with this. Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, and you make a great point. I would also take Conley to 31 and be thrilled.
Me too. I don't think Conley is that far behind Simmons. I just don't think we saw enough of Simmons this year to say that. I don't think that's fair. He played 5 games against the easiest part of their schedule. I think it's purely potential. We're talking about Simmons.
No,
it is though.
It's not. Last year he did a great job.
But see, Marcus and I talked about this recently. He did a good job last year, but he's not getting the rave reviews off last year. He's getting the rave reviews of how he looked the first 5 games this season and where he was headed for the rest of the season. That got cut short.
If you see
filling in the gap with how they imagined the rest of the season would have gone, but we don't know it would have gone that way. He played his 5 cupcake scheduled games against San Antonio University. He didn't play against top play talent in that 5 games.
So the year before, he was he playing against cupcake talent then?
But that's the thing. Like, people are raving about Simmons not because of last year, though. They're raving about it because of this year.
Right. So they see a young guy that's had growth, right? Which you want to be able to see. You want to see growth.
Sure.
And they show that. They show, and part of it is not depending on not just who you go through, athletic ability. Like what I've seen on film, what he was able to show was the explosiveness, whatever his feet. Like those are things and techniques that he has about him. Those are attributes that, regardless of who he went against, will still look good. It's going to go against, maybe not your best players, but even your best players, just based off technique wise. And I think that's a reason everybody is saying that's why he's so good. That's why everybody's sitting over saying, Tage, hey, regardless if this guy's knee is bad or not, we still going to take him in the first round.
Yeah.
Why would they be wrong? I wouldn't. I would think the same thing.
Potential's a scary thing. It's a scary thing.
Oh, man. Shoot. I think these guys know enough football. I mean, I watched enough of it to know that this guy is a much better player as far as like all his attributes, better than Connerly.
I actually don't know if he is a better athlete than Connerly. Connerly is, I think, the, if not the best athletic tackle in the draft.
I disagree with that. I do.
That is his best characteristic.
I get it, but
his problem is power. That's the only question he has.
Well, I need power and everything for a tackle. I need power. He coming in the NFL. He's getting guys that's going to take off Patrick Mahomes' head. You need power behind that punch. You can't be throwing up no soft noodles up here thinking, I'm going to get stronger. We had a problem with that with Wanye. Wanye wasn't strong enough, okay? Wanye was one of those guys I'm sitting there saying he needs to get a lot stronger. Same thing with King Suma. King Suma, some of his technique, some of his strength, those are things that we were looking at and saying, man, this guy, we just kind of missed the boat on. I think from what we've seen, it wasn't even a small sample size. I'm talking about the year before to the year before he ended, this past year before he got hurt. He showed everything that they needed to see to say he would have been a top-rated tackle, no question about it. And this is just not me saying it's my opinion. I mean, we see this is all the other scouts and GMs and all of the teams that's sitting over here covering a guy like Simmons. So it ain't just just saying, well, he's this. We're just gonna grow him. They seen the growth.
Yeah,
able to do.
We didn't see it. We saw it for 5 games. We didn't see it for a full season.
Oh shoot!
and hey, I can make similar arguments for Connerly. Connerly got better every year at tackle, and he played running back in high school. He's still, like, in the grand scheme of things, very, very new to tackle, and he's already a first-round talent. So, what about 2 more years playing that position? He's only played it for 4 years. It's crazy. He's this good after 4 years of development, true development.
He's not, for me, and I've been saying this about Connerly. You could bring him and get him as your first-round pick. I do believe that there's going to be somewhat of a you're kind of putting a lot of your eggs in the basket to think he's going to be your starting left tackle in the league.
But he's
I
not.
do believe
He's going to sit for like 1 to 2 years. Let's be honest here. Both of those guys are. Simmons is not
Never.
starting one either.
Never. If Simmons was if he was healthy, he'd be my starting left tackle day one. It'd be no question.
They're going to start him over $15 million Jalen Moore.
If he was healthy, I would. Absolutely. No, absolutely. No question about it.
And then you have Jalen Moore probably be the insurance spot on the right side and have him compete with Juwan and let him know, hey, like, it may be your last year in Kansas City, man, but you may not be starting this last year.
Yeah. Looking at the evaluation process, there's only a few guys that I would sit there and say, okay, this guy right here is NFL ready. And I would trust him, watching Patrick's blind side. Josh Simmons, if he was healthy 100%, he would be one of those guys. No question about it. Because of his feet, because of his protection, because of his power, all those things that he showed, the thing he was able to do in the run game, be able to get down the field, he has it all. He has a full package. I don't think anybody doubts that. Connolly, for me, has some doubt. I have some doubts with him. I do. I think he does need at least a year to develop. Josh Simmons, only because of his knee, is the only reason he won't be a starter day one for me.
Yeah, so but the reality is he does have a hurt knee, so neither one are going to be starting for us this year.
But I'm fine with sitting, Simmons, like they say, if the knee's healthy, over Josh Connolly.
Yeah, let's be honest. Kingsley shouldn't have started at the beginning of last year either. That's if we didn't start and play Kingsley, we might be saying right now we're supposed to have our tackle of the future, right? If he never played at all left tackle last year, if we just found replacements instead of Kingsley, we'd be saying right now, like, no, we have our tackle of the future. Kingsley's our tackle of the future. But, we prematurely played him. He didn't look ready. And now we're like, oh, man, there's no way he can play tackle. He's our guard. So, I want Connerly. I'll make that clear. But I'm being outnumbered. So I know I'm not going to get Connerly. So let's just go ahead and narrow it down to Pierce or Harmon at this point. Because
But let me ask you, though, if Simmons was on the board right now, you would make a case for Connerly over Simmons?
I can make a case for it. I think the ceiling is probably higher for Simmons.
Okay.
I think the ceiling, but because we just don't know. That's the thing. Like, he's got.
I think we do know.
We don't though. You did 5 games last year.
Yeah, but Tage, look, everybody's done their evaluation. They looked at the year before and this past year. Even if it was 5 games, they know. You know what you're going to get out of a guy. 5 games is enough to see what a guy's, he's able to do, especially if they've seen the year before that, and the year before that. So it's not like he's just a 1-year starter.
But it's not like one's projected to be a top 3 player. The one's projected to be 35. They're like 5 to 7 picks apart in every single mock draft, or a couple picks apart in every mock draft.
So why is that? Why is that though?
No, but I know. But I'm saying it's not like this. It's not a Grand Canyon of a difference. It's negligible. It's tiny. It really comes down to a player strength at that point, like what you want out of a certain strength that he has, or it's not.
I agree with that. The only reason they're so close right now is because of his injury. That's it. Other than that, everybody was talking that Simmons was going to probably be a top 10 pick at left tackle.
Yeah, I wish he played a decent pass rush this season against NFL players. He didn't. What do you mean? It's true, man. It's true. Okay.
He played 5 games. He's still rated the number 1.
He's rated number 4 tackle.
Well, yeah. He's still one of the top tackles, and you see everybody still trying to get him in the first round. So let's go ahead and move on. How about we do it?
They're 4 and 5 on everyone's list. So they're both top tackles.
I get it. And the only reason Simmons is that low is because of the injury. That's it. That's my point. My point is, if it wasn't the injury, Simmons is probably the number 1 rated tackle.
If he played like that the rest of the season, absolutely. But we'll never know. And what if What if he struggled once they played better talent? I don't know. Who knows?
Well, he played his junior year. I think they would know. They seen it. Was he getting demolished?
No, but he wasn't the top tackle coming in.
How did he rate it? How did he rate his junior year?
I mean, in 19 college games, he had 17 pressures in total, and I think he gave up 1 sack.
How many games?
In 1,100 snaps, he totaled 19 games experience at left tackle and allowed 17 total pressures and 1 sack.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Damn good.
Yeah, I mean, Connerly, I think, had like a 2% pressure rate throughout his entire career at college. I mean, they both have ridiculous numbers. I can do that all game though. I can do that all day. That doesn't mean anything to me. They both have crazy like stats that back that up. I've read crazy analytic numbers on Connerly too. Like
but we had this argument the other day though. You're still writing off his last year, which that still doesn't make any sense to me.
Because that's not where all the hype comes from. He didn't come into the year as the bona fide number 1 tackle. He looked amazing in those first 5 games. That's what did it. He jumped up like in those first 5 games, and then it stopped, and then like he didn't play the rest of the year. Like, so
I don't know about that. I don't know. I didn't hear that. I never heard that. You're the first one I heard to say that the 5 games that you're saying is cupcake games, that he jumps up off of cupcake games. So you're saying right now that NFL and the analysts, the scouts, and everybody sitting there saying they don't realize it's against cupcake competition, okay, and they're going to jump him up because of that. I think to say something like that, I think it's incompetence.
Simmons was having his best year yet before tearing his ACL 5 games into the season. Okay. Before his injury, he displayed high-level NFL traits. I mean, like, he was having his best year by far. I mean, he was.
So I was looking at the things, the analysis. Go to the analysis, right? Up there.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah. So you see all these good things on him. You see only 3. Hands have a low starting point, no true displacement strength in the run game. Lower weight makes angry and tougher. Though good knee bend and balance helps. Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, all the pros, man, outweighs the cons. And then when you look at Connerly, you look at him, and you look at the analysis of him, there's a whole lot of them. See, like strength and kissing the hand placement.
A couple of their negatives are actually very similar. Lower weight profile and late hands. He's got low hands.
Well, they were saying lower weight and display strength in the run game. I don't think Simmons had anything in the run game. But because of this, so what are we doing? Okay, let's go ahead and just let's start moving forward, man.
Yeah, no true displacement strength in the run game. It's the same thing. Let's move on. Like I said 10 minutes ago, we can move on to Pearson Harmon. I'm totally down for that. Let's talk about. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. By the way, like, are we now we're selling on Connerly? So we're not taking tackle in this draft, right, guys? Is that what we're saying?
We get one later down the road.
Okay, but
as far as
Connerly's our last shot to maybe say grab a left tackle. Anyone we grab after this, let's be honest, unless we strike gold and lightning strikes, we're probably looking at replacing Taylor with that tackle later on in the draft, right? At right tackle. More than likely. So this is like saying left tackle on hold for a year, pretty much, right?
Here's what I found.
Ooh. Siri's got my back.
What do you think, Marcus? I mean,
I would say if we are going to get a tackle later on in the draft, that's going to be more of a project kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, after this round, like I said earlier, after this round, it's more like, okay, you're not getting that. You're not finding that potential guy.
Yeah. Anymore. I mean, we can see who's there. We can see who's there when the time comes, I guess. But
yeah.
Okay, so let's do this then. let me get rid of tackle. So now we got the meat and taters. Pierce or Harmon? Pierce and Harmon. Sounds like an accident law firm.
Yeah, they have Harmon. They have Harmon pretty ranked low here. But yeah, for me, JD, I know you guys. James Pierce is probably the overall better player. I would say I think we are all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
I just think Harmon so far and away the best D tackle on the board right now. That would be like the position I would say to go here. But that would be my position on it.
So my opinion on it, I like Harmon a lot, but I do believe someone like James Pierce is a hard guy to pass up. For the simple fact that you look at somebody like Benito, right, for Denver, who's kind of like similar small, is quick, he's got speed, like he's a dangerous guy because you need sacks. And for me, you could get that D line a little bit later that we know, like Alexander, right? So I'm looking at like Alexander, you got Ty Hamilton, you got Walker, you got Sanders. There's a lot of inside D linemen, okay, that you could possibly get with Harmon. Nolan's already gone, okay? I think Nolan was probably the number one to me. I don't think it was, consensus-wise, he was the best D-line. Well, not the best, but right up there. I think he was better than Derek Harmon.
Yeah, a lot of these draft experts say that a lot of teams actually viewed Nolan as the number one D tackle. A lot of them have viewed Nolan as that. So
yeah.
Harmon's got a big fan base, though. Harmon's got a lot of lovers. People love Harmon as far as being like good at everything, like all around D tackle. There were some scouts that said they just didn't like how much time Nolan spent on the ground. He's on the ground a lot. But yeah, I mean, both. I think you're looking at Harmon and I think Alexander, in my opinion, are the last two guys that are, I think, truly elite at both run and pass.
Mm-hmm.
I think after that, you start going a step down. I think Pierce.
So I think we might be able to get Alexander later on. Pierce to me. So I'm wondering like this: who would make a bigger impact? And I'm talking about like sacks wise. We've been looking for sacks. We've been looking for pressures. Would Pierce be able to provide that for us if we had him on the outside doing it? I think he would.
Let's take a step back though, JD. Who do you think is going to see the field more? I think between those two, Harmon's guaranteed more playing time because of our lack of depth at D tackle outside of Jones.
that's a good point.
I think having Omenahu and having Karlaftis, and then you have Dana, and then you have an FAU who's also going to be fighting for that playing time over a Rook. That's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
No. Heck no. The thing is, he's going to be a first-round guy for us. James Pierce is a guy that's going to start immediately. And I don't think you take –
Really?
Why wouldn't you? How many defensive ends that you
starting
know?
over Karlaftis? You think he's going to start over Omenahu?
Omenahu could play defensive tackle. We can move him around. No question about it.
I don't see Omenahu. Do you think Omenahu's going to start at D tackle to start the year?
He can. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good thing about Omenahu. That's the versatility he has.
Yeah.
So he can play defensive end, defensive tackle. And so you can just move him around.
I don't know how happy he's going to be about that. I think he probably signed a deal thinking that he can boost his stock at the end. But
well, look, here's the reality, okay? If they was that sold on Omenahu, they would have gave him a long-term deal and they'd have gave him a whole lot more money if that was the case. And so this is something that teams are sitting there saying like, and I'm telling you, man, this is just a cutthroat business. To get a guy like this doesn't cost a whole lot of money. James Pierce, and if you can produce getting sacks for us, they're going to make a guy like this play. They're going to let him play. We gave a chance and opportunity FAU to come and play. FAU didn't have the type of career that James Pierce did in college. He just didn't. James Pierce was a sack machine. And the thing is, he was able to get past guys and make them look silly. Like sometimes they couldn't even put a hand on him. So James Pierce would come in as a starting defensive end and you let him get a whole lot of playing time. I mean, why wouldn't you? You just put him in the rotation. if the guy plays great, he plays great. Amenahu's still gonna get a lot of reps too. I think that's what you got to do on the D line. You got to have a nice rotation of guys. And so if guys produce, they produce. So same thing with defensive tackle. Who are you going to utilize? Because there's a lot of guys that there's guys we got, there's bodies, but there's 1 year bodies. You're 1 year guys.
I will say this is a luxury to have this kind of predicament with the D tackle and DN situation, because amongst the positions in the draft, these are the most deep of both positions between D tackle and DN. So, I mean, I think it is pick your poison as far as having the best available D tackle or the best available DN, and then doing the same thing in the next round with the opposite position.
So I'll say this. Okay. I like James Pierce for this because I think he's just a talent on the outside because he is a sack machine. He can be decent against a run. He can run anything down, anything get to the outside of him. He got long enough arms. He's 6'5", 245, 246. He's got a lot of length to him. I like him a lot. And the reason I say this is because of the defensive tackle. If we can get an Alexander the very next pick, I would look to try to get that. I would take that chance. I would absolutely take that chance.
I don't. Alexander's not going to fall until 63. I think you want to be realistic. You're looking at Alfred Collins as your number 1 D tackle at 63.
Well,
And I know you're not that big of a fan of that. And I know we've done the tape. I know.
I got other guys up here also too. So at defensive line, that's what I'm looking at. So my top 4 defensive ends, Pierce is right there with them. I had Green as a rookie, Stewart and Pierce. That's my top 4.
Yeah, but Harmon's in your top 4 D tackles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the same tier, I think, Harmon and him.
They are, but I got more D line up here than I do defensive ends. Like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defensive linemen as opposed to 4 defensive ends. And so when I'm sitting there looking at the 8 defensive linemen, I'm saying there's guys that I could go with.
I think Harmon would make an earlier impact on our team, personally.
I feel like
Harmon's so good at run stuffing. That's what he primarily did at MSU, was like run stuffing, and then he dropped a little bit of weight at Oregon, and then became like a pass rushing phenom from the inside. So he's someone who can slide into Jones's spot when Jones is sitting. He can play next to Jones. Yeah, I mean, I think I know a possible 15 plus sack guy is that's what you want, and that's enticing. Ceiling might be a little higher for Pierce, but I think the floor is much higher for Harmon. Harmon's not going to bust. Pierce could bust. No, I'm not saying he's going to. I just say if there's a bust meter, Harmon's is lower.
I don't know how you figure that, other than just opinion.
Well, because Harmon can play 2 parts of the game. I mean, Pierce is not a run-stopping DN. He's not. So that's one part
if he's on the outside. I mean, if he's on the outside, 6'4", he's 3'4", 313. Harmon.
I mean, Harmon's, like I said, him and then Alexander, you're looking at guys who can do both at D tackle. Rush the passer, stop the run. I think Pierce is a little more one-dimensional, and that's what you want at a D end anyway. You want him to rush the passer. That's what he's getting paid for.
Yes.
I just think because of that, Harmon's going to be, a highly functional player. Like let's say Pierce is not as good as a rushing the passer in the pros. That's going to take a lot of his strengths away. Let's say Harmon's not as good as rushing the passer in the pros. Okay, you still have one of the top run stuffing D tackles out of the college.
We got it with guys that's already there. That was the one thing that we did well. We stopped the run. So we have that with the guys. Pinnell. We got that with the guy we just got here from from the Raiders. What's his name? Tillery. We got a Minahu. You know, what we don't have is we don't have a sack machine from the outside. We don't have one. Let's just be honest here. We don't. We're talking about, Kalafkis coming off because he worked hard, because he's a guy that's not going to give up. We're talking about a pure pass rush defensive end we do not have. Okay? That's one thing that we do not have on our team. And we can be honest about that. James Pierce will fill that for us. He will.
I also don't want to go back to this because I don't want to get into a whole character conversation, but
Okay.
No.
Oh Lord.
Hold on. Wait till I
Oh
say
my gosh.
you couldn't be but as far as reputation goes, you couldn't be talking about two opposite players. Harmon was the leader and the heart and soul of that defense. I heard from a scout who went to Oregon's pro day, and he said the entire pro day ran through him. Like, he started and everyone started. He stopped and everyone stopped. He is like the voice. He was the guy. Like, whenever they talked about like defense or anything, he said the players of the pro day all pointed at Harmon and said, that's our guy. Like, that he sets their tone every game. That's like, he is the heart and soul. That matters to me. I like hearing that.
And I will say from the Michigan State guys, Snow's son, Darius, he did speak highly of him. They played together at Michigan State, spoke highly of him. I will say, did give me his number. I did text him a few times to come on the show. Didn't even get a response, but still, nonetheless, I'm a Harmon guy.
I like Harmon too. I like Harmon too. I'm not saying I don't like Harmon. I like Harmon, but what we don't have, I like James Pierce more than I like Harmon. I do.
Yeah, I'm okay.
We just don't have that. We just don't have.
I'm okay
with
one of these guys.
I'm just saying we don't have that element, and we could get another defensive lineman that has pretty much all the same attributes as a Derek Harmon. We do. The main defensive ends that we have that was getting sacks. There's nobody else with James.
Well, no, there are. I can get a one-dimensional pass rusher who's going to be a situational pass rusher for us in like the second.
Really? Really?
Yeah, sure.
That's as good as James Pierce. Who?
That probably had more sacks than James Pierce actually last year.
Who?
I guess JT, right?
No, I don't think JT had more sacks than that. JT's a motor guy. I mean, how many sacks did Pierce even have last year? Like 8?
Go to stats.
Oh, yeah, there you go. 8.
13 the year prior.
Yeah, I can find guys that had more sacks last year, probably in the SEC.
So 13 the year before.
I think Kennard had more sacks than Pierce did. Is Kennard a better overall player? No, but my point is I'm not finding a Pierce clone in the second or third round. But you did make it sound like it's easy to find a Harmon later on. I could find Pierce.
I agree with that. I think we can find somebody like an Alexander is going to be later on. I think he'll be there for us.
All right. So, well, I mean, if we take Pierce right now, we're going to find out very quickly.
I like Pierce. Okay, that's my choice is Pierce. I like Pierce. We don't have a guy like him on the roster to go get somebody. We don't have one. FAU hadn't been that guy for us. Joe Skalafis has got to fall off to get sacks, because of his high motor. James Pierce is a go-getter. He is a sack machine. We don't have that guy. I think it's something that the Chiefs need, and we don't have him. And it's
Harmon had 3 less sacks than him at the D-tackle position.
5, and then he had 1 the year before that. Pierce had 13, and then 8. Come on, man. Let's talk. What are we saying? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
Hold on. Did he play MSU? Did he play at MSU that year? He was a run stuffing. He was schematically a run stuffing tackle.
Yeah, his game did change.
Yeah, he lost weight and became that. He lost weight and became a pass rusher in 1 year.
So all the defensive tackles that we've been talking about over all this time, we don't think there's somebody that can, measure up with Derek Harmon.
I told you I like Alexander. I will be shocked, like 95 out of 100 shocked if he's there at 63. The number one guy on this board is my guess is going to be Collins. And from there on out, you're looking at a really good pass rusher, a bad run stuffer, or a really good run stuffer subpar pass rusher from here on out. After you get Harmon and Alexander.
I say let's take Pierce. Okay, and see what we got after that.
All right. Marcus, you're a Pierce guy?
Like I said, I think DT and D, and I prefer Harmon here, but I do think that we're going to find a decent defensive tackle like we find a defense. Okay. Yeah, I think going for the best player overall, I think Pierce is the better player overall. If we're talking about ADP, or we're talking about the
no question.
So, but yeah, so let's go James Pierce then.
Pierce. All right, it's gonna go quick. Hey, before I do it, do you want me to turn the speed down a little slower? Or you want to go fast to get to our pick? You tell me. You want a little more suspense build?
Now let's go fast. We're gonna be speaking through these, so we can go back and look at it.
Yeah, we already hour in.
Whoa!
Hey, John.
Oh man, there you go.
Oh, no,
what's going
That's
on?
it.
Are you serious?
Hell of a draft, guys.
Oh God.
Got eight.
All right, let me do that again. Let me go that.
We did get an A.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Please, Pierce, be there so we don't have to do this again.
If not, we'll start rolling through them. You know, I know we want to talk, man, but we already been an hour in here.
He's not there.
Wow.
I wonder why.
Redo it one more time, just to see if he's there.
Hey, if there's any consolation, Harmon's gone too, buddy. Okay. Yeah, they're both.
Where did Harmon go? Let's just see.
Harmon went. They went back to back. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah, do one more time, just in case.
That.
Like draft for needs. Do you want to keep it? I usually take draft for needs down a little bit.
Take it down. I've heard this is a very I think it was Jeremiah or one of those guys said this year a lot more than most because the guys are so even in like the middle rounds. It's going to be a very neat draft for need draft, but I can take it down if you want.
Yeah, just a little bit. Because I think when they start throwing things like that towards you,
you're a big need guy though, JD. I thought you want that all the way to the top.
No. Like we still want to be able to get who we get. You know, if a guy still has ability.
There you go.
Oh, look who's oh.
Hey, no Harmon. He's there. Never mind. All right. Let's get to the pass. Let's take Pierce and let's ooh, Shamar Stewart's there. You're a bigger Pierce guy or Stewart guy?
Pierce.
Okay.
Man.
All right. Let's go. Yeah, you like that? That's tough though. A lot of people
I was actually going to say something, but go ahead. No, it's fine.
What you're going to think about Stewart?
No. I was just thinking the like Connerly too. You know, like. But here we go. All right. So round 2.
All right, baby. So here we go. We got our picks right there. It's Pierce on our board. Looks nice. Looks real nice. Ooh, get the teammates going.
I'm not a lot guy.
I think okay.
I like Lot. I
want to say
you like Lot.
Let me say this.
He was one of the guys I put out there.
If you want to transform your pass rush line, Lot and Pierce would be a very nice way to start that. I'll tell you that.
I like Lot. But here's oh man.
Yep. Sorry, Marcus. I know you and I both look to see if your guy. Yeah, I know. It's you. You're like, go to running back real fast. Let me double check this.
He's gone.
He's gone.
The dream is dead.
Yeah, the dream died real fast. I'm surprised you want to do it slowly so you can see it being taken and like your heart sink. Judgments for anyone that doesn't know that.
One of my guys is there though. I'd be happy about that, but I don't think tight end's a big need right now.
So I want to talk about Lott real fast. He's someone I wasn't impressed with at first, JD, but the more and more I read about him and how bad Tennessee's scheme was and how their rotations make no sense, a lot of scouts have put him a lot higher on their boards because they're not attributing his lack of run defense snaps to him. They're attributing it to like how bad Tennessee's scheme was. And they just didn't ask him to do it. They're like, you're good at rushing the passer, just do that. And when you're not doing that, we're yanking you off the field. And we like this bigger guy who can run more. It's not that he can't do it. It's that he wasn't asked to do it.
I like Lott a lot. I do. A lot. I do. When I watched him play, man, he's a hell of a player. I liked him, this past year for sure. Everything, like you said, all the film and stuff, just watching him, he is a high motor guy. He plays with a lot of passion, plays with a lot of fire. He is, without a doubt, an animal out there on the field. And I think he has the ability to kind of do both. I think most of my drafts, I ain't gonna lie to you, most of my drafts, I picked him up in most of my mocks when he was available. And that's what I was talking about, defensive line. He was one of the guys of my 8 that I liked. He was absolutely one of them.
3 less sacks than Pierce. And he had 5 the year prior too.
Yeah, I think their terrible rotations hurt Pierce too. I've heard the same thing about him, that he could have done even more. His stats would have been better if they didn't yank him off the field all the time. It's just like Tennessee's rotations, their defensive scheme is just weird. It's wacky. Yeah. So if we're going pass rush, trying to overhaul that. I mean, yeah, I think you add Lott and you have Pierce, and oh boy, you're cooking with gas.
What do you think? What do you think about Ivy?
I would have liked Ivy if we went Harmon first round, then going Ivy second round. I would love that. But right now, no, I think we go best DT available.
You want to hear my runner up, who I hope falls to 66. I'm a massive Makuba fan. Makuba Atada, man. It means no worries when you draft him. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I was the last 3 podcasts I listened to, and Louis Riddick is a huge fan. Chris Sims was raving about him. He said to him it's probably his second favorite safety in the draft. He says he's one of those lighter safeties who plays like he's 225, the way he hits you. And then he has remarkable cover ability. Nickel, slot, deep safety, can play a little box and nail you, knock people out. I just love hearing that. Especially, I love hearing light guys who are light on their feet who play like they're heavy. I love that, especially from a safety. But yeah, that would be my second choice here if we're going outside the D tackle. And then, like I said, Alfred Collins as the next D tackle there.
Is there a way you can sort?
Yeah,
the D tackles. I'm curious. What are the other D tackles besides
Collins?
Yeah,
let's do that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's.
I think at this stage you're going Lott, or people love CJ West, but I think you're going Collins or Lott.
Yeah, I think so. So Ivy, okay. Ivy's a guy that you could utilize on the inside and out. That's the reason I like Ivy. He has the versatility. He played outside. Some of the video we've seen, he was able to get up and to pass rush. So they use him on the outside and in. And I said this, that scheme-wise, he could be a guy that Spags uses. But, I mean, I like Lott more than I like Ivy.
And Lott, by the way, JD, not that I have to talk you into liking him more, 11-inch hands.
Who's that, Ivy?
No, Lott.
Oh, Lott? Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
meat hooks, man.
Yeah.
If
you want a defensive lineman, he will be the guy.
Big hands, smacking people, just not letting you grab him, not letting you get your hands on him. I mean, that's big time. Yeah, massive hands and above average arm length.
So his biggest knock is the run defense thing, but you said it's more that's more of a scheme kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what they say here. Yeah, they
I
don't
like
like
that. Can hold up well against double teams.
Yeah, which is uncharacteristic of a smaller guy like that.
Mm-hmm.
With better hand usage. I mean, wait till you teach the 11-inch hands better technique, man. I mean, he's doing this with unrefined technique. I mean, and like 5 sacks.
How big is he? What was it? 6'3", what?
6'3", 215, I think. Yeah.
315? Yeah.
315, damn.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Lott. You guys are okay with that. I know this is a need, so we have to go D tackle here.
I like Lott.
I like Lott especially too, because if you really are worried about the run stuffing aspect, you can find a plugger like way later on in this draft if you want to shore up your get a big beefy D tackle. There's beef later on in this draft. I'm not worried about that. That's why at first I think I like Collins, because he satisfies a little of both of those. He can do a little rushing and he can stop the run, but I think the ceiling on Lott is just
I like Lott a lot of much more than I like Collins.
Yeah, I know you're not a big Collins guy. That's why I said that earlier.
34th ranked, man. I think we take him. I mean, 34th.
You doing Lott? We agreeing to Lott?
Yeah, I know our friend on Twitter, Brad Wingo, is going to love our draft so far.
I bet he is.
Both Tennessee Vols guys. But yeah, I'm fine with Lott.
You're doing it? Okay. All right. Well, hey, look who it is. We're back here again. It's a little more open now, I think, what we can do here.
What? Wait a minute. Ooh. I
think this opens up a bit. My early recommendation is for Makuba, but I'll keep scrolling so you guys can see who else is there. Unless you want me to go to certain positions.
Noah John Marshall wants to know if Porter is available from Iowa State.
He is. He is available.
And we're getting some Ursary comments in here as well.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Ursary, what they got him rated right now? Ursary, where's he at?
Is he available?
No, you just got taken, 65.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, would we have maybe gone Ursary? Possibly. But I think Ursary's a right tackle. And that's not a knock. He can take over for Taylor next year. I just don't know if you need to invest the second round pick into that. That's all. He has whoever we draft a tackle at this point is going to develop. So if you could take a guy who doesn't need to be your day one starter to develop him much later in the draft, I would rather do that. I don't know how you guys feel.
Who's that?
I'm just saying I'd rather if I know the tackle is going to be able to have a year to develop, and I know he's going to probably be a right tackle, I'd rather wait a little later on and get a guy we can develop for a year at right tackle than a guy that we're going to try. Because more than likely, the Giants are probably drafting him there. They're probably going to try to start him earlier rather than later.
Yeah. Mine was offensive tackle early, swing, get a guy, you swing for him. You don't have him, then you might just have to wait.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that same thought process.
Mm-hmm. But so my thinking is this, okay? And the reason why I'm thinking is we're sitting there saying that's why I was so heavy on if we don't get an offensive tackle, D-line, defensive end is what we should be going for. Double dip for a couple of guys because we got one-year guys all over the place. Chris Jones getting older. Kalafkas is going to be, on the hook next year to see what they're going to get for him, right? You really only got FAU, but everybody else is kind of one-year plans. Now we picked up Pierce, we picked up Lott, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
For me, This is where I would go with Jared Ivey. That's me. That's my thought process. I would go heavy on that, and then I start getting the back end of this. Unless y'all just like Porter more than anything else. Other than that, we can make a case for Elijah Arroyo. If we're sitting there saying this is a guy that we're talking about getting a tight end now, why not get a guy that's very talented, okay, can show what he can do, to play on the offensive side of the ball. Okay. So I'm giving my thought process here. I would be heavy on the D line, double dip, defensive end or defensive tackle. We got a defensive tackle. If we get 2 defensive ends, I'm good. We don't have to worry about them no other time. That's it. That's it. You get guys that's going to be starters, rotational pieces. You're looking for the future. That's what I would do. Okay. That's my thought process. That's how my process has been pretty much through the mock drafts. Now, in some mock drafts, I was thinking, look, get a tight end that's very talented, who's highly rated. And we could get somebody like that, like an Arroyo right now. Why not? Because after Travis is gone, we got Gray,
Wiley.
Wiley. That's it. So very athletic. He's big,
Yeah, I would say for me right now, kind of the same logic you had as far as Karlaftis is a free agent, Omenahu's a free agent. On the safety part of things, what Teja talked about on Monday when he was talking about Kevin Winston Jr., right? Having to fill that safety void. That's kind of where I am, and I think whereas their D tackle and DN, the D line is more, I would say, later on in the draft, we can find some guys. Because I think this draft is deep. We can find those guys later. Safety, this draft is not deep at all at safety. Makuba is top at that safety spot, or one of the tops in this entire draft. You can make a case for Arroyo too. But because Noah Gray signed his extension last year, right? Was a 3 or 4 year deal. So he's got 2 years left in that deal. I would say I love Elijah Arroyo, and I would not be mad at all if they went Elijah Arroyo. I would say from an overall, based on what's going to happen with the safety spot, kind of the unknowns there, besides Jaden Hicks being the only guy there after this coming year, I would say I would probably lean Makuba, and also Porter would be the other guy I'd probably go with. And Arroyo would probably be my number 3 right now, my tops right now.
Yeah, Porter just worries me a little bit because he's a 1 year starter, and he's going to be like 25 during the season next year.
This is the guy that he's the one that switched from wide receiver to a corner, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. They say he's got a lot of skills, but he's still raw. He's raw, though.
I know. I want a polished machine in that secondary, man.
Yeah.
Especially like Hicks is still really young, right? Like Cook, okay, come back from injury. I don't know if we're gonna dip into that bank to re-sign him. I just think, I like Makuba a lot because he can hit, he can cover, he checks all the boxes, and he's young. He's a great compliment to Hicks too. And dude, look at our speed on defense at this point. It's just, I'm in for Makuba. I like Porter's makeup. It just worries me that he's an older prospect and only a 1 year starter at the position. It's just more of a gamble for him, and I don't know if we're in the gamble mode right now.
And plus, a guy like Parrish might be there at 99 too when we do pick again. So it could be,
Yeah, I think we can find scheme specific Chief type cornerbacks later.
Sure, and I think Makuba, like I said, is like a last of like a tier 1 safety in this draft.
Yes.
After Makuba, it falls.
Okay, I don't know much about Makuba. I don't, because I don't really do a real deep dive. Only a couple safeties, but he wasn't one of the guys I was looking at. So,
yeah, I was listening to more Winston talk today, and they were saying how he's going to have to probably be more a box safety. They're saying did Winston up was Fannin, the Bowling Green tight end.
Oh,
They say he worked Winston.
Fannin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's okay though. Guys get worked. Guys lose. But,
so what do y'all think? You want to go Makuba?
Yeah, I would lean Makuba for this pick.
My Makuba vote in. We're good. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Cuba?
Cuba Tara. Oh man, that is looking mean. I mean, if I fell asleep day 2 and then woke up and like this is who we had already, just think about that. I mean, yeah, there's a world of possibilities. You'll start looking at the draft board to see who's still there. But oh my gosh, I mean, you'd be so happy if you saw that and you woke up, you know?
If I seen this, I'm like, we coming after people.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Pierce is coming after it. Lott's coming after it. And
Yeah.
I mean, Makuba is Sims said heat-seeking missile like 15 times. And that's not even his strong suit. So like that's just, yeah. So I'd be very happy. Interesting board we have here though. It's a very interesting board. I'd probably stop there. Yeah.
Can you put the running backs up? I'm curious. What's the best available running backs?
By the way, a consolation prize to not getting Ivy, JD, is Elijah Roberts. By the way, if you still feel that way, have you looked up Roberts at all? Very similar to an Ivy.
A little bit. I turned it off because I didn't like what I saw. You know, you look like, oh no.
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not. The running backs that room doesn't impress me either.
Ain't doing it, man. Ain't doing it. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wait, is Tootin gone? I don't see Tootin.
He's down here, man.
Wow. Yeah, I guess waiver day.
If we do that, if we did that trade back into the 5th round, guess who that will be for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're waiting up day 3 for the running backs.
You know what's funny about all this? Milam, if you want to talk about a guy who could take over a right tackle eventually, that's a guy who could take over a right tackle, and you got him around later than Ursery. Belton, too. Although I heard it's funny, I hered Belton.
Milam was slow. He had slow feet.
Yeah, they're saying Belton will probably be a better guard in the NFL. Milam, they said, I read he could be a better guard, but that's not one of those cases that means he's a bad tackle. It just means they said he could be like an all-pro guard and a really good tackle. Like that's what I heard about him.
Well, he struggles against speed rushers. That's a problem.
But they said he's like one of the most experienced probably tackles in the draft. Like he's just been solid. Didn't allow a sack his entire high school career.
His what?
Didn't allow a sack his entire high school career.
I don't mean nothing.
But and college too, right? I think was it college and high school?
I think.
I thought I read a crazy stat that was college and high school.
High school is not going to be that hard. Let's look at it. See.
Dude, 1,200 pass blocking snaps left tackle. I mean, that's experience. Yeah. Didn't allow a single sack. Yeah.
College and high school. That was a stat I saw.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's literally it, JD. It's the first step's a little slower.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I love that player comp though. That's nice.
G-Pick, you look. Sometimes when you look at same things, it's not quite that simple. And it is kind of projections. What do you think a guy's going to do in the NFL? And when you look at speed rushers in the NFL, the type of talent they have, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. I don't think people quite understand that.
I mean, yeah, he didn't play NFL players, but I mean, that's not to not allow a sack your entire college career. I mean, you can't hide that for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like they didn't hide him at left tackle for 3 years. He got his opponent's best rusher every week, right?
Hey.
So
I'm just telling what I seen on film, and I seen sometimes he was trying to catch up. So I don't know as far as like offensively what they play. I know that with Patrick Mahomes, he holds the ball a little bit longer than everybody else. It's not like you're gonna have just a regular left tackle. Regular left tackle here is you're gonna have to get on, make sure you hold for, and you're gonna have a different clock in your head. I want to make sure that context is clear. Okay. It's not
sure.
Sit there balls out like Joe Burrow. The thing is, Patrick Mahomes and the things that we do, he's gonna hold the ball a little bit. He's gonna drop back a little bit further. And so when defenses are coming after us, they looking at a spot on how you beat our guys, and they know, hey, he'll hold the ball a little bit more than a little bit longer than everybody else. So
I don't love the board. I'm gonna be honest.
Parrish is there as well.
Parrish is there.
Man, and I'll say this: I think edge is is where the meat's at right here. As far talking about like the high caliber players, I think the edge is where it's at right now.
I told you who I do like.
Gelate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gelate. He's high motor guy. What's the name? It was sitting there saying Fanning Jr. is available.
Yeah, he is there.
I did see that. Yeah. Johnny Smith. That's a pretty good player comp.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Tough.
I think I'm sold on that.
Fannin?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, man, for a guy to get 100-something catches in the season, you was talking about he did such and such safety end. From what I've seen, I mean, he's a good tight end. He catches the football. You know, we're gonna throw the ball around. I mean, shoot, why not? Why not? I mean, we got 3 defensive guys. We haven't addressed the elephant in the room that Travis Kelce's not going to be here. We don't know what Jared Wiley is going to become. We got Noah Gray here. Harold Fanning Jr., is he just going to be your guy that you're going to throw the ball to? We're looking for guys to destroy in zone, all those different things. You could get a big tight end to come block if that's what you want to do. But I like Fanning. Anthony Belton's a good, well, what is he at? Belton's ahead of Harold Fanning Jr.
Who are the best receivers available? Because JD does bring up a good point with Fannin being there, where if we're kind of missing out on some of these, Tez, yeah, that's later. I mean, I think
value there.
I think Fannin does hit a good need as far as threading that line between the heir apparent to Kelce, the guy, the next guy in the tight end room, and then also being able to have him kind of be a little bit of a receiver kind of thing. Because I mean, I don't see any receiver worth taking here. And he also killed 2 birds with 1 stone by getting Fannin, at least for this year.
Oh man, I'm so not a Fannin guy.
Yeah, I would. My three be Fannin, Parrish, and Gelante.
I'm not big on him, but addressing that issue, right? I'm saying we had to address the issue at some point. My thing is, I like guys later on. I like a Rondé Gaston. I like guys later on that's going to be available.
Yeah,
we don't have to take Fannin right now. I'm just saying, like, as far as
I wouldn't settle then. If you don't even love him, I wouldn't even do that. Then.
But then who you like?
We need a hit. You know what I mean? We need a guy who's going to hit. I mean, my 2 favorites would probably be Parrish and Milam, just because Parrish, we've talked about cornerback. We have 2 guys that are free agents. 3, if you count McDuffie. We got 3 upcoming free agents. McDuffie, signing him is going to be tough.
You don't think we get Parrish on the next one?
No, I don't think so.
Well, we said the same thing about what's the name, and he was there. So
who we say that about?
Who was it we were looking at? I thought Ivory was going to be gone, and Ivory wasn't gone.
No, the first one we said Alexander. He wasn't there.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see as far as need.
Yeah. So my two guys would be Parrish and Milam. So I think cornerback you can make a great argument for. If you're trying to hedge your Parrish is great because he could play inside and out, and he's a very McDuffie-ish player. If you can't get McDuffie signed, you're not dead in the water. You have that inside-out flexibility. Even if you do get him signed, having Parrish and McDuffie is not a bad problem to have. And Milam, I think we are going to go, even if I don't love the idea of going tackle outside the elite guys, I think we are going to go tackle in one of the earlier parts of this draft.
But that's why, like, Anthony Belton was he's a very athletic tackle. He's a guy that you could develop. I know they were talking about him. They kind of liked him. But I know he was somebody that you had, what's the name of it? Donovan Smith, shades of Donovan Smith.
Well, neither of you guys have mentioned Cameron Williams. I've seen some people in the chat talk about Cameron Williams. What do you guys think about Cameron Williams?
He seems like he would become a guard to me.
Yeah.
He's okay. He's kind of athletic from what I remember, but he wasn't like one of my favorite guys. I forgot what it was. I didn't
out of position, inconsistent footwork, a ton of penalties, heavy feet, plays heavy in general.
Penalty ridden long year as a starter shows inexperience and inconsistent. No, pass.
Yeah, pass. Very, very green. He's still learning how pass rushers are attacking him. It doesn't have lower body athleticism to just out-athlete people.
Yeah, no.
Well, I think it boils down to what do you guys think the greatest need is? I'm hearing cornerback, tackle, tight end.
I mean, we have a few positions who are going to have, like Taylor's probably gone. We'll need a right tackle in the future. We don't know. We don't have one. We haven't more yet. Our cornerbacks are probably gone. 2 out of the 3 of them, maybe. So there's a lot of, make that argument for linebacker too. But I mean, Boss is there, but I like Milam and Parrish way more than Bossa. And you're getting with either one of those guys, you're getting really good value in the draft itself. I think. Like I don't think either Milam or Parrish. I don't think Parrish makes it to 95. I don't think he does, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, we have gone D heavy. That's true.
Go to Anthony Belton and look at what it says about him.
Let me see my notes I had for Belton. I think I had him somewhere here. Belton. I don't have him, do I? Yeah, no, I don't have notes on him.
6'6", 336.
Yeah. Those are my votes. I mean, I like high floor guys. So, yeah. Milam or Parrish, you guys say what you think you want to do. I love 1,200 passing block snaps, man. I mean, you're going to get a 8 to 10 year starter at tackle or guard.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go, Milam. Okay.
Are you okay with O-line right now?
Yeah, he's going to be a project, I think. But the speed rush is something he had to get used to. So he'll just have to sit back and get used to the speed rush. If that's the case, if he's not going to start, we don't have O-line. Let's put him in there and see what he can do.
Shit, man, he might beat out Kingsley for left guard.
Hey. So what do you
Marcus,
think?
What do you think?
I mean, I think it is one of these spots here for the tackle spot. If you are going to draft a tackle, this would probably be it because after this, it kind of gets really murky. I wouldn't touch tackle at all after this. unless you're talking, a project guy in the 7th round that you stumble upon. But I think this would be the end. That this would be the last time to take a flyer on one. Yeah, if you guys are set, it seems like both of you guys are throwing around tackle, so you guys think that tackle would be the spot to get it. It would be right here. If we can find someone comparable to Parrish in our next pick, I'd be happy. But I think cornerback is something that we need to kind of delve into a little bit. But yeah, I'm fine with Milam.
Well, we could talk. I mean, before I click that button, we could talk about that because we have 133 and then we don't pick for like 100 picks. So that next pick, do you want to be pigeonholed into taking cornerback, or we still don't have a running back yet? So 133.
Let's go Milam.
Okay.
Let's go Milam.
Let's see how it looks good, man. It's a good mix of it's a good mix we have of like high floor and like high potential, high ceiling.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, let's see. So, your boy?
Ooh, Farmer, Tez Johnson.
Ooh, Jordan,
some names.
Jaden Blue, Brashard Smith.
Wow.
Barrett Carter's still out there. Wow. Okay.
I saw Tez.
Tez is in there. Go Dia.
So let's do this.
I'm just curious what running backs are there. I saw some names there. I was curious to see the bigger list.
Yeah, hang on. Sorry, let me just receiver. Let's do
And
that.
put okay.
You want to do that position?
I would say tight end as well. And Brashard Smith's still there.
Yeah, cornerback definitely not the strength of this area. This is that. By the way, this is that Metcalf dude I was talking about the other day.
The what?
Like that Metcalf comp guy.
Oh,
The guy runs 9 routes.
Yeah.
6'5", 214.
we ain't gonna use him.
Can't drive unless he approves his route when he will be top out as a orient. No.
We got no need for him. Let's keep looking at him. Waste your time, man. You wasting your time.
Oh, so what you're saying is this is our guy. 5'10", 195, baby. I do like Jalen Lane a lot. He is good, but I think that's really funny though. And he has experience as a returner. That's hilarious. He's a true slot receiver, but yeah. Quincy Riley's interesting, Marcus. You want to go your cornerback? I read really good things about Quincy Riley.
Elite track background and twitched up movements to the position. His lack of size and major strength concerns make him a tough projection.
Lack of size. I mean, 6'1", 195 is not terribly small.
Yeah, what? They're making him sound like a 5'8", like small, little, dainty cornerback.
I mean, Rocky Sin's a pretty good comp too.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good comp.
Confident in press. Overall athleticism is adequate. Flashes a good effort in run defense. Impressive ball skills with a 70 career INT 17.
Ooh,
damn.
Let's look and see how he spaced that out.
Jeez.
Where's INTs? I don't even see. Okay. Wait, what?
17 or
what do you have? Like 15 in 2020? I mean, he must have had a lot 2021, or is he? How old is he? Maybe he's like a 5-year.
Oh, he might be one of those guys who had like the COVID years and stuff. What's his full name?
Quincy Riley.
Quincy Riley.
Actually, you know what? I think Quincy Riley was also another one of Louis Riddick's draft crushes.
Yeah, so 2020 he had 2 interceptions. 2021 he had 5. 2022 he had 3. 2023 he had 3, and then 2024 he had 2. So yeah, so over 20. He did in college since 2020, so 2020 to 2024.
Yeah, this is it's one of his like 7 favorite players in the draft. Former high school state champion in 100 and 200 million track events. Ran a 4.48 4-yard dash. Physical tools to play anywhere, outside on the perimeter, inside in the slot, man, zone, press work, off coverage, you name it, he can do it. Exclamation point on his evaluation is that he's tough and willing to set the edge against the run in cover 2, which we know is uncommon for players at his position. I actually like hearing that, considering he's a little daintier. Riddick said he should be going in the bottom of round 2.
Oh, wow, really? I mean, this write-up on him sounds pretty true.
Write-up's legit.
I haven't heard anything guy.
Yeah, the write-up's pretty legit. I'm going to see if I have any. Let me see if I have any notes on him.
Jay, what do you think as far as the pick here? Like what position or?
Yeah, I think this is kind of the time you get a corner. From what I've seen so far, you know what I like. I like Teja Johnson. He's my guy. If you're gonna get another wide receiver, get somebody like this. You know he has a lot of heart to him. At least that's a guy that we do know. We know what you're gonna get out of a guy like that. So we might have the thinnest wide receivers in the league.
Rice boosts a little bit.
Huh?
Rice gives it a little boost.
Oh yeah,
Rice does.
Those suckers are gonna look thin out there, look like some aliens. These suckers, man, look at these wide receivers, man. What y'all gonna do out there? You get thrown around, and all we're gonna do is run by everybody.
Yeah, for me, I do like that. I do like the guy that Quincy Riley guy you just showed. My first initial thought was Teja Johnson, and then best available cornerback. So that would be where I'm going with it.
Who says dainty? Who said who's dainty? Who used dainty on somebody?
I did.
Did you? You said
why?
The corner was dainty.
Yeah.
Yeah, DeMonte Green said we don't need anybody that's dainty. Yeah.
No, I said though he's extremely physical, which is nice to hear about someone who's on the daintier side. It's nice to hear that about him. Like usually, again with Makuba, you think those light guys are just like, oh man, he's always going to do the little shoestring tackle. I like small guys that can set the edge. I love those kind of players. Just like guys who don't give a shit, man. I love those kind of guys.
Yeah, but you might not want to, use for a football dainty. Like he's a dainty player. This sucker come out there sneaking on the field.
Yeah, I was taking the cue from them. They were saying he's extremely light. I was like, man.
See, DFN Lone Wolf. We need a big body receiver, especially red zone. DFN Lone Wolf. We're not going to use them. We're not going to use them. Okay?
Yeah. My only argument against Tez is that I would rather go a pass catching zone running back because we get the speed out of him and you can still split him out wide, but you can also give him some carries too out of the backfield. And all the speedy running backs are still there. Blue, Rashard Smith, what's his name? Tootin. Where's Tootin? Someone take Tootin.
The Tootin's gone.
Like Tootin. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for Tootin.
Oh, let me see this. I'm shocked.
Is he gone?
Wait, what?
No, you got to. Yeah.
Is he that low? Maybe he's that low. Oh, there he is.
There you go.
There he is.
211.
Man, he's getting dogged in this thing, huh?
Good. Sleep on him. Sleep on him.
Yeah.
We could probably get him in the 7th, maybe.
Yeah. Man. So we're not going to trade back into the 5th in this one, huh? It's going to hurt to see this fly to 226.
We know Rashee Rice is going to be out. Okay. More than likely. And we don't know how many games. We don't know what this is going to be. We have no idea. So
we brought your guy Juju back for insurance. It's your boy.
Yeah, but Juju is not enough. We're gonna need somebody else.
We need Juju's hamstrings to hold up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. My vote's Tez or best available cornerback.
I like Tez.
How can you not love that? I mean, the stuff you were saying, forget his weight, but the stuff you were saying about him, what was his, he had number 1 3 cone. I mean, he was in 100 percentile of, what was that stat you said that blew me away, Teja?
Beating single coverage.
I mean, dude, how can you not love that?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me find it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. 100 percentile in separation.
I mean, dude, we talk about our type. He is our type, man.
He's a good kid, man. He's a solid.
Yeah,
kid.
I mean, I think I'd rather have like a Tez running back version though. But yeah, I'm down for that. I'm I like that.
JD, everyone's saying we need a tall guy. Just kind of give people a lowdown on the whole why that just doesn't work out for this team.
It scheme wise, we just don't look for particular routes for tall guys. We rarely run the back shoulder fade. We hardly throw the ball, for the back zone, down in the red zone. We don't really run a whole lot of like basic routes. We don't have a lot of comebacks. There's a lot of things for big receivers to do. We just don't give a chance to. We just don't. Usually if we go for a deep ball, we try to throw some for Xavier Worthy last year. Xavier got pushed out because he's a smaller body. If we had a bigger receiver, that would work for a guy that's going to be able to go up and get it, on a 50-50 ball. Our offense is just not geared for a big body type of receiver. We like smaller guys that like getting into zone, beating man because we run a lot of picks on our routes. That's it. One-on-one on the outside, man. We don't look for that matchup as much. So I hear you, I hear you. I love to have a joker come in here 6'3", heck, 6'2". 6'2", 6'3". We'll love it.
Yeah, even with D-Hop, we didn't really throw that many jump balls to him.
Who?
Even with D-Hop, we didn't really throw jump balls to him. We didn't really utilize him in the normal way that D-Hop is used.
No, yeah. I don't know if Hot Town had anything left on his knees to jump up and get those balls, but
yeah, that's true.
Are we going to get more usage out of Tez than we would like a Jaden Blue? Is my question.
I don't really like Jaden Blue.
Brashard Smith. Like I mean, just like smaller zone Tootin. Blue Tootin Blue Smith.
I think that we'll be able to get one of those types of guys and later on. I don't think you're not gonna get Tez Johnson later on.
What do you mean 226?
Yeah, I think we get one of those speedy back running backs who don't do anything else besides be or speedsters, one of those 4-3-4-4 type guys.
Okay. None of those, but not those three guys. Those guys are gone.
Tootin, there's a shot.
Who might be there?
No way, man.
There's a shot.
All right. I mean, hey, look. If we had a 5th round or even early 6th, I'd say, yeah, let's by all means.
What would you guys be down? Oh, and Joshua Farmer's still there too, JD. I know you want to beef up the trenches. I know you're not a big Farmer guy, but
would you be down to what?
Just to see what I don't know how the PFF trade thing works. Is there a way to like
easy? What do you want to do? Let's do like the Dallas 149 for like next year Chicago.
JD, what do you think? You don't care?
It's just see, yeah.
I'm just doing this. I mean, I can almost say 100% we'll have a 5th round pick, right? Are we all in agreement of that? Like we're gonna have a 5th. Like I just can't, or a 6th. I can't see us not having one, and that's I think about the middle of the round too, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have 226 is round 6.
No, that's early 7.
226.
Yeah, it's the 8th pick of the 7th round, I believe. So let's go 151. The Colts. They have a million picks. Cowboys have a lot of picks, dude. They could afford to pick one up next year, and they're missing a 6th next year. So let's just do that. Let's have one in the 5th. You guys go with that? One more 5th rounder?
Sure.
Or a 5th rounder?
Sure.
Ooh. We're going Tez Johnson.
I like Tez.
Let's do Tez.
All right, let's do it.
I'd be so stoked. I'd be so stoked we got Tez.
And Barrett Carter still there too. Man, I got. Oh boy.
The D tackle meet's still there. There's a lot of D tackles still there.
Fitzy Riley's still there too.
Damn. So running back, cornerback, tight end, and D tackle.
At this pick, you mean? I think we're. Wait,
I would say remaining needs. I would say.
Yeah, I'm really confident we'll get a meaty guy in that 7th round. We'll get.
Man, they still got Ty Hamilton there.
Yeah.
Ooh, your boy.
Dion
Walker. There's Jake Brinkenstool. Woo-wee.
Some good talent out there, man.
There's a lot of good talent still. Now, would this be the time where we go and get a running back and just to make sure we have that RB? Or do we go for – because, I mean, we're not going to pick for it to almost 100 picks after this.
Yeah,
Well,
like 70, yeah.
What do we look like, Tage? Let me see what we got so far.
Yeah, I like Rashard Smith.
No, he's asking about our current picks, Teja.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant who's on the board.
Oh.
Solid, man. Speed, baby.
Okay.
Gosh, if we have this.
So who's that from? Let's go position specific. Okay. A lot of different ones, but let's go. Let's just look at halfbacks right now.
I like Smith. I like Tootin. And then for me, it takes a slight step down because I think we're looking for our game breaker, right? Someone who can like take it to the distance. Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, they had Jaworski Merritt that was there that came on a visit, but I do like Tootin. I like Ollie Gordon, but he's a guy that
Just want to throw this out there. There hasn't been any kind of report they've met with him, but Veach and Nagy both went to Delaware, and that Marcus Yarns guy from Delaware is he's a return specialist as well on top of being a running back. If you look at his highlights, pretty good, but those two definitely are aware of the Delaware Blue Hens guy still being out there.
Yeah, I think Yarns could last that 226 pick.
And I know JD being from a small school, you definitely think that Veach and Nagy are keeping mindful of that kind of guy from a school they both went to.
Hey man, look, if you can play, they'll find you. I mean, it don't matter. Shoot. I mean, I think that's been all over through the NFL. I mean, shoot, you see guys that are Hall of Famers from smaller schools, sure. HBCUs, and all of that. It doesn't matter. Shoot, Antonio Brown was another guy, smaller school, ripped it up. I mean, you name them. Shoot, same thing with Terrell Owens, smaller school. Jerry Rice, smaller school.
Yep.
Shoot, you could say the top receivers all went to smaller schools in the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
look, we did Brashard Smith the other day. I like Brashard Smith. I like Tootin. All these kind of guys we're looking at are all similar. Teja, weren't you a really big fan of Monungai? Are you still a fan anymore?
I still like Monungai. I just don't think we're going to go a mauler. Monungai is more like the we want like a Hunt heir apparent. I just don't think we're going to do that. I like Monungai. And if we drafted him, I'd be like, okay, I see what we're doing. We want our our version of David Montgomery after Pacheco leaves and Hunt leaves. I just feel like we're going to go something we don't really have, which is that zone runner, kick him outside if sometimes, have him split out wide.
Yeah, Rashard Tootin is that guy. He's
Tootin,
man.
Yeah, Tootin and Smith for me are those guys, in my opinion. Tootin, I think Smith might be a better only specialty guy. I think Tootin could actually develop into your running back.
Yeah, I mean, Rashard Tootin is a running back.
They're both running backs. I mean, like a guy who can just be like your
every down guy.
Could be your 3-down guy eventually.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Smith's ever going to be your 3-down guy. I think he's permanently going to be your Gibbsy guy. You know, your 8 to 12 touch guy. I think Tootin could be more eventually than your 8 to 12 touch guy. But in the meantime, while he learns a little more, gap patience and vision, he can be your zone, throw him around in different alignments guy too.
You're talking Rashard?
No, I think Tootin in the meantime can be that weapon gadget player, and then you can maybe develop into more. I think Smith's permanent weapon is what I think.
You think Smith's a permanent gadget guy? You think Tootin can be more? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this year, I think they're both going to be gadget guys.
Year one
has all the tools. Yeah, Tootin knows how to do zone. He knows how to do against blocking scheme, split zone. Everything they ran at Virginia Tech, man. He looked good at it. Plus, he just outruns guys. As Bashard does too, but I think Tootin does a good job of like making guys miss and breaking tackles. In his small frame, 5'11", 209. I was just shocked at how many tackles he was able to break. Really.
Yeah. Thomas Rawls. That's great.
Mike Brennan says, before you draft Tootin, think back to that time Jamal Charles fumbled near the goal line versus Denver in the Thursday night game. Tootin will bring back that memory to your mind multiple times every year.
Good. That's good. Then Jamal Charles, what he turned into. We'll take it. How you think about that, Mike?
Basically, Brennan's he'll break your heart, kid.
Yeah, how about that one, Mike? Huh? Jamal Charles turned out all right, didn't
he? Yeah.
I'm okay with either one of these guys. I think Brashard Smith's going to be an animal.
But you think he's gonna be a gadget, but I'd rather have a running back at the 3-down guy, and you think Tootin's that? I like Tootin more than I like Brashard Smith.
He's a more refined running back than Brashard Smith.
I mean, he is, but he never took a snap under center, which is a little scary. So he's got some development to do.
He took every snap out of gun, JD.
Yeah, he didn't take one snap in college out of center, JD.
Who's that?
Tootin.
Dude, not one.
It's not going to be a problem.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's an advantage either, but yeah, I mean, I think he can learn that. Again, I think this year they're both going to be a little more gadgety, so I don't think that's going to matter. I think he's going to take more of our.
It's not. Yeah,
Tootin's going to be a zone read, swing pass guy. Just get him out of space, let him run. That's going to be his game this year.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like saying that he didn't take it not one under center, it's a quarterback. Okay, all he needs is angles. He just needs to know where he's getting the ball. That's it. He's still handling the balls and being handed off to him. It's no big deal. I don't even know why it's even a thing.
Yeah, I'm good with Tootin. If you guys are good with Tootin,
I'm good with it.
Tootin.
We're by the way, you want to go position by position. We're not looking at any other position here. We're just going to stick to running back.
Let's go specific corners. Let's see who corners was up there too. I didn't get to see the corner.
All right.
I don't know anything about longer beam. I looked at Zai Alexander to see they didn't really like him. They was just okay on him.
Yeah.
These other guys I don't really know.
Longer beam's all right. Zai's all right. Zaw Frazier's good too. He might.
I like Fortune. Fortune's interesting. The only thing that the knocking with him is like 4.5, 8 speed. That's the only thing with Fortune.
Yeah,
but big physical corner.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could be a 7th round guy. I think
cover 3. Yeah, I think he will be there.
All right.
I think my favorite corner is probably Riley. Yeah. They really dog him in this. It's funny too because you read the ADP and you read the rank, and then you read his write up, and you're like, dude, what am I missing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
Look at it, Bilal Cohn. What does it say about him? 6'2", 190.
Big guy.
Huh. I'm going to look over him too.
I think we'll have a better shot at getting a good cornerback will coach up than a running back that'll get snaps. You know what I mean? In the seventh.
And we've been known to take a lot of seventh round swings, and we've been successful with it. So I think that's going to continue to be a thing.
So we talk about Tootin then, huh?
Y'all go with Tootin?
Rootin' Tootin, baby. 2-2 can scoot, baby.
Let's look at our man again. Speed.
It's fun.
Speed. Woo! I'll tell you what, too, man. Speed and tough. Tootin's tough.
Yeah.
Tez Johnson, don't let his 125-pound weight fool you. He's tough, dude. He gets his nose in there to block, even though he gets thrown around. Milam's tough. He's not a finesse tackle. Makuba's tough. Like, oh, dude, tough and fast. That's what you want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Demetrio, Tootin's a good pick for us. It'd be a really good pick. 5'11", 209. It's got good balance, make people miss. Fast. Absolutely fast.
There's your meaty, you want your run stuffer. There's one of them right there, Cam Horsley. Let's see, they have a write-up on him. No, they don't. They have his first look.
6'4", 306. Geez.
Another thing, too, I know everyone's saying we're way too long to go RB. This is one of the deepest running back classes of all time. In a normal running back class, he's a third or fourth round guy.
It's true.
It's an insane running back class.
Well,
87 run defense grade is top 20 mark among FBS defense tackles since 2020. So 2 straight years. It's pretty impressive.
How am I I'm bullying? How am I bullying? I'm staying out of this stuff.
Wait, what happened? I can't see that right now. I'm looking at the draft.
No, it says DFN Low Wolf. JD's bullying y'all. I'm just joking.
What tight end? What we have tight ends for?
Ooh, man. I think we're looking at
I'm gonna say Gadsden's there.
No way. I think Luke Lakey's number one. Wow,
Gadsden's
close.
there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a pretty low rank. He'll probably be there when we pick again, too. That's it. Damn. Wow, man. Scraping the bottom of the pan on the tight ends, huh?
Well, I mean, like JD said, Gaz is not much different from Fannin, and Fannin went round freaking 3. So, like, it's, you know.
I know, it's funny. So let's go cornerback. Let's go.
And I also willing to say that I think Gadsden's probably more polished route runner than Fannin. I mean, they threw the ball like 70 times a game at Syracuse.
I like Mac McWilliams, too. That was right up. I don't know. First look. More of a zone coverage.
Huh. Jay Toya, he's a rugby guy. He comes from a long lineage of like pro athletes and stuff. I don't know if they say, yeah, but he came from a rugby background. Nazir, he's solid.
Who was that?
Nazir Stackhouse, the D tackle, Georgia.
Yo, Thor, what's the name? For Louisville's pretty good too. Thor Griffith. He's good. He's really good.
Oh, he's a transfer from Harvard.
Approaches the run game with power and violence. I love it. Power and violence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not drafting any of these guys at this point to be pass specialists. These guys are all pluggers, man. Just plug them. Oh, your boy.
Ooh. The tush push stopper, as we call them.
Hells no.
I was just waiting for it.
Absolutely not. Ventrell Cypress, who was this 2 years before Cypress, never quite as dominant in this 22 season.
Yeah, he's not a man guy. It's probably not our.
Yeah.
Desmond Watson, a fan favorite in the Chief Concerns chat room.
Oh, they're going nuts for him, huh?
Yeah, I'm not a Jalen Smith guy, man. I read some really poor stuff on him.
Yeah.
Is the South Carolina cornerback still there? The one I was brought up earlier, or is he gone?
No.
Look, I think Gadsden's a pick here. I think BPA cornerback and BPA D tackle. I think that's what you go in this round.
99 percentile zone coverage grade. Good Lord, that's really good.
5'10", 185.
Sorry, are you reading him or are you looking at something else?
Yeah, no, looking at Mac Williams. Yeah. Let me see something. Shoot.
Yeah. Probably we're looking for our typical like 6'3" corner in the 7th round, huh?
Who was one air guy that was like 6'2", 6'3"?
You're not a Jalen Smith guy, right?
He wasn't 6'2".
No, he's 5'11". I know Tommy Hill's a big guy, but they might project him to be a safety. You want to look at him? I think he's a pretty big guy. I don't know, he's just 6 foot. Huh. Fabian Moreau. Wow. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Is Brandon Adams there from UCF?
Cornerback?
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, BJ Adams.
BJ Adams.
He's a big boy. 6'3", 190. That's up our alley as far as a 7th round big guy.
Yeah, that is. It looks like he'll be around for one of our last 336.
The Mac McWilliams guy looks good.
Yeah, I like him too. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I mean,
very aggressive.
Are you reading about him on your side?
I watched a little bit of film on it.
Yeah, I like Mac. I mean, like, granted, we're not primarily zone, but 99 percentile zone. I mean, I like that he's tough in the run game. Primarily a slot corner.
He's coming up to tackle, man. He's being physical, man. Geez.
Yeah, he's not playing around. I'm in favor of. Oh man, I like Horsley a lot. I just love his run defense, but there's a few run stuffers left.
Yeah, I'm good with the best BPA D tackle, cornerback, and tight end.
Let's go corner first.
Okay.
Didn't you see what was Mac McWilliams? Where is he?
Let me see.
Are you guys both out on Shiloh Sanders? That's a fun one.
Who's that?
Shiloh Sanders.
Oh,
the forgotten one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this guy Tommy Hill, they said he had a downer year because he had a plantar fasciitis all year. Explosive, but not long speed, long arms. Yeah, I'm down with McWilliams if we want a more of a slot guy, and I like Tommy Hill if we're going outside receiver.
Outside corner.
Corner, sorry.
what I saw, I mean, Mac McWilliams looked very aggressive. I don't know about him. We start getting into the later rounds. The only one I know is Rondé Gatson.
Yeah.
So, what pick is this for us?
226. What you want to do?
Let's see. Let's go for McWilliams and see what we left with.
Yep.
Yeah. Slot corner.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down with that. I'm fine with McWilliams over Hill. Horsley just went. Damn.
Is Gazin still there?
Yep.
No, he's there.
Yeah, we were talking about project like tackles. This is one guy, Holland Pierce. Have you read about him?
No. Trent Brown, interesting.
6'8", 345.
Oh, that's why.
But he's a guy that people love in like mock drafts, taking late as like a developmental tackle. Just like what you want him to look like. You're like, all right, I'll make you into a tackle.
That's what look to this guy just because of his size. I can't remember.
There's another guy too, but I think he's taken. It's the Florida guy. What's his name? I think he's taken already. No, never mind.
Oh, Jamon Dumas Johnson.
Yeah.
How many more picks we got?
2. It's the last 2.
Okay.
You want to get your guy Gatson, or you want to wait? You want him to be Mr. Irrelevant?
I said we get him now, and then we have fun with our last pick.
We're going Gatson.
That's where I would go.
Let me see one thing before we do that. Oh man, I wish Horsey was still there. Damn. Yeah, I say we go Gatson and or run stuffing D-tackle.
Yeah, Thor Griffith is good. I like Thor.
So let's go Gatson with this one. I think Thor will be more highly likely available.
All right, we'll try it.
Next one. And then who's tougher? Was he? He's undersized. Yeah, he's undersized. Thought so.
Thor with Mr. Irrelevant pick. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of fun.
He's a run stuffer, man.
Yeah,
he's like a plugger.
We just want that beef. Where's the beef?
Trying to think of Howard Cross. Did I look at Nazir Stackhouse?
Yeah, he's enormous.
Yeah, he's a big guy too. Pretty well balanced D tackle for 7th round prospect in this thing. Yeah, high grades as a run defender and a pass rusher. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linebacker. What about linebacker? We getting linebackers? You see linebackers out there?
We neglected. I think Teddy Buchanan's still out there.
Teddy's good. Yeah, I like Teddy. He was a beast for them.
He's pretty tall and he's fast. I like that. Especially if he's going to be possible will for us.
With the amount of pluggers out there, I feel like they're going to be able to pursue a lot of them as far as the UDFA market.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And plus, I mean, based on the way Pinnell was talking about Fabian Love, it sounds like they think they might have that guy.
Go check out what's the name of the dude from Kentucky?
Dumas?
German, yeah. Jamin.
He's more of like a middle linebacker, though, right? That's the only
He
problem.
is. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if we didn't re-sign Bolton, I think, yeah, I'd be targeting middle linebacker a lot earlier.
Yeah, struggle 54.7 coverage grade now.
Yeah.
That's what big old what's the name of Walker came in, helped him out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm down for.
So we think linebacker then. We didn't pick up the linebacker. You guys
I've gone Buchanan in drafts before at this point. I'm fine with that. I think
good grade.
See also. No, that's
These are smaller guys. So how big is Buchanan?
Damn, 6'3", 230, huh? Oof. 20% missed tackle rate. Ooh, boy. That's brutal.
0 percentile. Wow.
Oh, man, that's brutal.
Ooh,
I'll tell you what, though, with that size and speed and coverage ability, you know someone out there is going to be thinking, we could just teach this kid to tackle, man. We got a player on our defense.
Scroll down a little bit. Eugene Asante. That's a Pride of Fairfax, Virginia, right there. He was on my nephew's youth league team back in the day.
Oh, that's cool.
Outside linebacker.
He's quick. He played
84.2 PFF pass rushing grade, ranks 5th in the draft class. How about that? 219. Woo, boy.
He's small.
Dainty.
Dainty.
Uh,
Actually, if we get Asante, we could probably get him on the show. So, extra rooting interest there.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Linebacker or go beef in the front?
Oh, we already went to him, this guy.
oh, man.
Aaron Reed's at the other guy.
18 percentile run defense grade. Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for Buchanan. He's one of the better players left, too.
Yeah, I'm down with Buchanan as well.
All right. Let's go Buchanan. Yeah.
Teddy Buchanan, baby.
Teddy
Lock
Bear.
him up. That was Mr. Irrelevant.
I'll tell you what, we're going to get Slaughter for our Tootin pick.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like him in this, dude. Yeah, look at Tootin.
F. Wow.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though, if we picked someone else, if we picked like Brashard Smith there, we'd have like an A+.
A plus pretty good. I'll tell you.
Yes, consider we have an F in math. I mean, yeah, dude.
That's interesting. I hate that. It's a need for us. I don't understand how it's an F.
They're not fans of him in PFF, which is weird. And the fans don't pick him high either.
Yeah, PFF sucks.
Chris Sims loves Tootin. It was I think it was his 4th favorite running back in the draft.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's a very deep draft class in the running back spot. So a lot of people are going to have different opinions on the where the running backs are in this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some. Okay, so Mike Brandt says I feel justified with the Tootin hate. I guess. Milam A. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
And Boot says that is crazy on the Tootin F. I'm assuming. Yeah,
That's insane. The F. Give it F. F for fumble.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good job though.
Yeah. B+.
So there it is, guys.
Go with it. Yeah.
I'll take a B plus. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Demetrius Spence. Crazy thing is, I looked him and Tootin looked solid. Yeah, so Demetrius Spence didn't know who Tootin was until we drafted him, and then he looked him up and he's a fan.
Yeah, I mean, he's blown up draft boards. I feel like this is like a 2-month-old like board for him. 211, dude. When you're running that because the guy, Sims' co-host was like, yeah, at that point he did the running back rankings like 3-4 weeks ago. His co-host was like, yeah, they have him going in the 4th round right now. And he's like, nah, he'll go way higher. He's like, you don't have those numbers in the combine and stay in the 4th round. That's just not going to happen.
Right.
Someone's going to take you earlier than that. It's just not. I don't think he's going to last to 149. I think he'll be in like the 4th round.
Dude, I'm telling you, he blew it out the water at the combine. Everybody was able to see what he could do. You see it all on tape. Like, what is, if it is the fumbles that you're worried about, then that's something they have to work on.
Yeah.
MJD said he ranked 32 running backs and he had Tuden 9th overall. With Tuden having clocked a 4.32 40 at the combine, there's no question about the one-cut runner's speed, his ability on full display in his transcendent 4 TD performance against Boston College would provide an NFL offense with a powerful ball carrier who runs through tackles and has 3 down potential. I envision Tuden making an impact in a Kyle Shanahan kind of system like Isaac Gerendo did for the 49ers last season. And that's MJD, another running back.
You want to bring this all round circle? His player comp is Isaiah Pacheco on NFL.com.
Tuden?
I think I've seen that too. Yeah.
I don't see that at all.
No.
That's crazy, actually. I mean, these people not watch football? I mean, my gosh. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, there you have it, guys. The Chief Concerns mock draft, the one and only we did this year. And yes, Linda Hunter, I am officially mocked out. I think everyone I think all you guys are.
Done. I surrender. I'm done with it. Thank goodness. And we are coming back. We've been on for 2 hours and 21 minutes. Too long. We talked too long.
That's all?
Mike Brown, I would have walked out of the war room and take a piss while y'all made that pick about the Tuden pick. But before we do go, so I want to get to something. I know we're been on for almost 2.5 hours here. I do want to show the mocks that we all did. So we talked about each of us did our own mock. You guys sent us mocks. We also have a surprise celeb mock from one of our viewers and one of our guys who's been on our show quite a bit as well. So here is the mocks that me, Teja, and JD all had. Teja, who was very anti-Josh Simmons in the beginning of this whole thing, he actually picked Josh Simmons with his first pick. I went Derek Harmon. JD went Nolan. So yeah, similar drafts that we all had. We all kind of went similar positions here, I would say.
You like my draft? You like my draft, JD?
I do. I like the 2 picks. I like it.
I also double dipped at edge.
I seen that. Yeah, that's true.
Tyler Barron's a very Spagsy type D end.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much.
He's not lasting at 226. I mean, none of my guys are probably lasting at their pick, so whatever. It's fine.
I mean, I stole Landon Jackson in round 3.
Yeah.
And Kevin Winston in round 3. And of course, we got Kid Juddy. We had to get Quinshon Judkins, man. We had to do it.
We got a couple of guys from each one of ours, though. JD had Gatson Buchanan.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Marcus, you had Tez, and you didn't get your Harmon. That's close, though.
But I got Harmon. Oh, in our draft. Yeah.
Yeah, the match.
Yeah.
And then I got Makuba, Tuten.
Yeah. I mean, again, we've been doing this draft stuff for the last 2 months. We all had very similar, and that's why the war room is the way we had it. Although there was some contention at the beginning of it with that first pick, it was pretty smooth. We all kind of had the same vision of where we wanted to go with this draft.
Oh yeah.
I think they have to take way less time than us, obviously. there's a clock.
Yeah. And they already have a board they've all agreed on too. That makes things easier.
True. You see our first 4 picks is pretty much on par with safety, edges, defensive ends. I mean, you got Andre, I got Latham, you got Kevin Winston Jr. safety wise. Off the 4th pick, all of us got safety's 4th pick.
That's crazy. We all saw value.
I'm the only person who took a tackle.
Yeah. Like, see, but he was never available for me. I could never get
Yeah. That's true. I think we got a good compromise in Milam. I think he's probably step in and be your right tackle after Taylor's gone.
Yeah,
I mean, it's great. I think it's still good.
All right, so the mocks that we got from you all, well, actually, I think our first one's our our celeb mock. That's our guy Sean Barber. he sent me his 3-round mock. He just did a 3-round one. So Kenneth Grant, Harold Fannin Jr., Emory Jones, and Omar Norman Lott. What do you guys think of Sean, our guy Barbershop's 3-round, JD?
Jeez, if we could get Kenneth Grant, I mean, that'd be great to get him at 31st. He's not going to last that long. Harold Fanning Jr., we could have got him later on in the draft. Emory Jones, don't quite like him as much. Omar Norman, I mean, I like, 3 of them. These are kind of high picks for him for these guys. I don't shoot.
Lott's not lasting the 95 either.
No
way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd swap probably Fannin and Lott. That's more realistic.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, good picks.
But not bad. Sean, there you go, buddy. Sean was watching our show Monday, and he heard we were looking for mocks, and he sent his in.
That's not. Okay. Good deal.
All right, so here are the fans. So our guy Mike Brennan, no trades, no restarts, no regrets. Hashtag in Veach we trust.
Trey Amos, number 1. This is Mike?
Yes, Mike.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Oh.
So what do we give Mike's here? I like TJ Sanders. Jay, you're a big TJ Sanders guy.
I like the Doherty pick. I like Sanders.
Aladejo, not much. Latham Ransom, I do like that. We had the same thing. Latham Racing, Mike.
I think I'd rather have Billy Bowman at 95 than Ransom, Mike. Thorns and Metcalf, dude. Yeah, so he wants that upside. Mike wants that upside X receiver. Broughton's interesting. I actually, a couple of the podcasts I listened to said Broughton had more like high impact plays than his teammate Collins, but Collins was just more consistent from play to play. And look, he's going 200 picks later than Collins is, like 150, but still. So yeah, good late snags.
Mm-hmm.
Solid, Mike. Solid. Mike's been watching our show. I mean, of course, none of us went with the cornerback early, but D line. He went D line in the first 2 rounds. So first 3 rounds.
Yeah, I do like the Sanders pick.
Yeah. All right, this is from our guy Shane Foster. Here you go, guy. Here you guys go. Figure this be a perfect CC draft. Look at this one.
Look,
this is pretty good.
I like this one. This looks nice.
A couple of our guys, Buchanan, Lott.
Yeah.
Judkins, Kajudi.
Your guy at heart.
Jackson Halls that's not a bad pick. He'll be a solid tight end. It's not a burner at all. No, I like Halls.
I don't know. I don't think I really have Spencer Hawes.
Muhammad. No, it's not bad right here, Shane.
Not bad. I mean, Ty Felton's actually pretty sweet. I like Ty Felton a lot. He was really good at Maryland.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The trend is running back in the first 2 rounds, 3 rounds.
Yep.
I see a lot of people are high on Landon Jackson. Okay, I'm not as high on Landon Jackson as a lot of other people.
Really?
I thought he was going to test much worse. He tested really well at the combine. I thought he was going to be a little more slow and stiff, but he looked good there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his tape looked stiff, but then when he tested so well, I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Well, sure, that's the way you're supposed to look athletic. You ain't got nothing on.
That's true.
Sure.
But not bad here, Shane. I like it, Shane. When you have Judkins on your draft, it's an automatic A+. Boom. Okay, so it's our guy from Trashman3131. Here's my latest, and I love it. So he's got a little trade action here with the Jacksonville Jaguars, trading back to the 36 spot and getting Josh Simmons. If you get Josh Simmons at 36 and getting more picks, that's a nice draft here. But Another Landon Jackson draft pick here.
Yep.
Josh Simmons, Landon Jackson, Caleb Johnson, Trey Harris, Shamar Turner, Kevin Winston Jr., Quincy Riley, Jake Majors, Nick Martin, and Tyler Barron. You guys fans?
Yeah, I like it. I like Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. Quincy Riley.
Yeah.
Kevin Winston at 95 is great. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's a really good one. You got our ex receiver in Trey Harris. You got our running back in Caleb Johnson. Yeah, you crossed off a lot of things there. We didn't really get like the only thing we didn't get is probably a plugger.
Which, I mean, I think you're able to find that in the UDFA market, I think.
Yeah. Your boy Watson's going to be available at the buffet table.
Yeah. Not bad right here, Trash Man. Not bad. I like it.
All right, our next one is from Lance Moser. What's up, Lance? Lance only gave us one. He just gave us his first-round pick. This is all going to go south in a hurry if the Giants don't take Sanders, but I'm taking the gamble that they don't risk having to hope to trade up for a quarterback later. And he has us getting Luther Burden at pick number 31.
I had Luther on a few of my mocks. I like Luther a lot.
You did? Wow.
Did. Yeah. I think it's somebody like the talent like he has. If he's available, shoot, he can't. Shoot, why not? I like it.
Wow.
He might be there.
That's a shock. Interesting. All right, so our final one's from our guy Michael Pacheco. I think this would be better if Loveland falls. Winston is a steal in the second if he can recover it. To me, is a combo of Reed and Matthew. Belton is said to be like Dobon Smith. Right, I think he meant Donovan Smith. But a left tackle, the only one I would change would be the wide receiver. Efton Chisholm is at 2026. He is a speedster who could be put in special teams and trick plays. To me, Simmons trade up to smoke and mirrors, but this grabs a tight end, if not Loveland Fannin. So Colston, Loveland, Lott, Winston Jr., Belton, Rashard Smith, Andrew Armstrong, Nico Reed, and Marcus Weir. Solid draft, solid. I mean,
yeah.
JD Loveland at 31. What do you think about that?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if he lasts that long, but
if Loveland lasts a 31, we can get a haul trading out of that position if we wanted to. We can get someone second, third, next year's third. We can get a lot if that happens. So, I mean, I would still be okay with taking it, but yeah.
Yeah, this is not bad. Not a bad draft. That's what the Anthony Belton one, like I told you, he's a guy that he'll give you some good reps. If he, with a great coach, he could potentially, challenge people to become, a starter. He's a good player. What I seen on the video, at tackle. I don't know too much about Andrew Armstrong and Nico Reed, but no, it looks good. It looks good. I think, man, to be honest with you, when we get to the draft these next few days, I think everybody's going to be happy with what we get. There's a lot of talented guys in here, man. I truly believe we're going to get some good surprises. The first 4 rounds for us, the first 4 picks is going to be vital. It's going to be vital to what we're going to do, what direction we're going to go.
And we got one more that was sent in just now by our guy G-Pick. It's just a 3-round one. Luther Burden, Kevin Winston, Omar Norman Lott, and Cameron Williams. G-Pick, I got you, buddy. He just sent that in.
All right.
Not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not bad.
Wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Yeah, Luther Burden would be interesting, though. JD, I did read that apparently they're making a big to-do about this, that NFL teams were requesting practice footage from Luther Burden because they said his route tree wasn't enough in game. So they requested practice footage from him to see a little bit more of Luther Burden because they said there's not enough to show from his game stuff. Because they didn't say the teams aren't saying that his route tree wasn't enough in games, but a lot of experts are saying the deduction from that was they're not seeing enough in his route tree during the games. They want to see a little bit more from practice. What do you make of that? Is that a To me, it's like if I'm a Missouri fan, I'm more insulted by my offense that they didn't have much of a route tree. They're only doing quick screens with the guy.
Yeah, that's not his fault. I mean, you run the plays as called. But I mean, if teams are requesting practice film, I don't know. Shoot, I tell you what I seen on tape. I mean, I think says it all from what I've already seen. He's a good player. He's good routes, got good hands. He's a baller. So,
yeah,
I don't know. That's something new. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's the only player that I've seen so far. They've requested that, but I mean, a lot of the experts were saying teams do request practice footage from teams, but the fact that was
I believe
public,
that. No, yeah. So that kind of goes to like maybe the Josh Simmons. Tage, they had the 5 games, but maybe they got a whole lot of practice film against
maybe
all those guys that are the top. Sawyer, JT.
They're gonna need it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, they know what they got. They know what they got.
So that brings our mock draft and our pre-draft talk to an end. It was a really fun pre-draft season this year. I really liked the whole prospect thing, getting to know a lot of these players. I think it was awesome. I think our you guys benefited from it in the chat, and all our subscribers that benefited from all the college prospect talk. But it's over now. Tonight, one more sleep. We wake up tomorrow, and then we got the first round, and then you got us after the first round to talk about what we do. And hopefully we pick. Hopefully we don't trade out of it, because that'd be kind of a boring first night. But I'm excited, guys. So you guys got us for another 3 days of Chief Concerns. So I hope you guys enjoy tonight's show, and I hope you guys enjoy our coverage for the next 3 days. Fellas, great draft season.
Great draft season. Well, it will be.
That's right. It's not over. This is the prime of it right now.
Right. I guess a great pre-draft season. How about that?
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah.
It has been great.
I mean, we can pick whoever we want on this little mock draft. But tomorrow's, that's the real deal. That's the real deal. So, but I'll be glad when all of this is over and get guys in and start, making them right, making them ready.
Start deep diving.
Yeah.
Happy with the guys we get, and if we're not, let's talk ourselves into it.
Exactly. Rationalize it.
You had to.
Oh, Junkins wasn't that good anyway. I didn't want him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we didn't get him.
Yeah, they came out with some character concerns.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Right. But
all right.
No, it was good. It was good. Our little marathon is over. Well, we got these next couple of days.
Yeah, so. we have part 2, 3, and 4 the next 3 days.
So what do we do? So tomorrow, what time?
Tomorrow we will come on right after our pick to kind of dissect and break down what we just did, and also preview day 2 of the draft. And then Friday night, as soon as round 3 is done, we will jump back on here, talk about our 2, 3 picks, and then preview the following day. And then the following day, wrap up with after Mr. Irrelevant.
All righty.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So I know they're going to do their due diligence, man. Like I said before, I think they'll be happy. I think they're happy. We'll be happy with what they'll get. And I think sometimes everybody getting hung up on, the measurements or whatnot. You really got to know who a guy is. I think it's really what they're trying to find out. So it ain't just on the field things, but also to how you carry yourself in the locker room. Like they're getting all this information from number of sources. So whether it be from your hometown, people that you've known, people that you grew up with, on the college campuses, all the coaches, ex-girlfriends, all those different things. I mean, they're getting a number of things from a number of sources. They are. That's what they're doing. They're combing through your entire history.
For what?
Huh?
For what?
Well, they want to see. They're investing a lot of money.
What do they want to see? Something about your character?
Well, yeah, they do.
Yeah, baby.
But hey, Tage,
Good night, everybody.
Hey, we got to find out. We got to find out if it's true or not, right? Because the next thing you know is there's going to be a sex tape out. Or somebody saying that and trying to hit you for $25 million. Okay, I'm just because of Shannon Sharp's deal. We don't
I was
know.
going to say that was quite a sharp turn there.
Yeah. But it still deals with character, right? It still deals with it. We don't quite know, you know. So
yeah, man. Hey, ESPN wants to know that character before they give him $150 million. That's why.
Yeah, they want to know. Hey, is this true? Is this really what happened? And trust me, there could be a lot of things. People that sully your name. They can say a lot of different things coming up. But what they want to know is, can you play? Are you a football player? Or can we win with you? And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring you into the fold of our organization, especially the Chiefs, and let them know, like, this is a first-class organization. And when you come here, all those shenanigans is out the window. It's done with. Can't deal with it. And if it is, you're out of here. You're out of here. Excuse me. So, but yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. It's going to be, like I said before, it's going to be a fun time, man, to see these young guys get their lives changed, see where they're going to be going for the future. It's always a great time to see that. There's got to be a lot of happiness and joy for the families that's watching. So that's always a good story when you see kids answer the phone and they're talking and everybody's just so happy for them. I enjoy that aspect of the draft more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
And also the trials and tribulations a lot of these kids go through to get to this point too. I mean, I know a couple of years ago it was very dark. They just kept talking about the saddest things that ever happened to these guys, but also too, ESPN does that, and these networks do that to show you what these kids have overcome to get to this monumental moment. And I think that's pretty cool too, because like we've done 50 stories of these guys. And we don't know a lot of these guys' stories. And a lot of these guys have gone through some stuff to get to where this point is. And I think it's something cool to celebrate.
Lifelong
100%.
dream, man. It ain't just your dream either. It's, everybody else's dream around you too. They've been. The amount of time they've taken you to practice, the amount of time that they've done everything to just talk about you, man, it is the absolute blessing, and they should not miss it for this moment. They're going to take it all in strides. I always say this, for guys to get drafted to come into the NFL, take it for everything that it's worth, okay? Because it is a privilege, man. It is an absolute blessing. So,
yep.
I think guys are going to know that. They're going to understand it.
For sure. All right. Well, guys, you're going to see us for the next 3 days. So it's not goodbye. It's see you in 24 hours.
Yeah. So appreciate y'all sticking with us. Sim McBride, G Pick, Mike Brennan, Buck and Bob. Appreciate you, Linda Hunter. She said, poor Unc. It's crazy. Some of this crazy stuff is out here. All is starting to come out. It's all starting. Witchy Hall, Demetrio Spence. Let me see who else we got. Sasha, thank you, Sasha, for staying with us. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us for 2 hours and 43 minutes and some change. 2:45 that I get finished. Drew Boucher, thank you very much. We had, Noah John came on here, DFN Lone Wolf. Joe E, appreciate it. He got Walter Nolan, number 2, Norman Lott, Caleb Johnson, and Latham Ransom. GE, I like you, Joe. Appreciate it. Looks like mine. Faye Smith, good. Appreciate it. I watch college football, but not enough to do what you do. Tomorrow will be interesting. Yes, it will be. Thank you, Faye, for coming in here and hanging with us as well. Boot, appreciate it, Boot. Thank you, sir. Who else we got in here in the chat for us? I just feel like it's been a marathon this week. I'm
that's before the 3 straight coming up.
Oh man, yeah.
But I feel like the pre-draft discussions are different because it's all hypotheticals. Whereas like tomorrow, it is stone cold fact, and we'll be able to talk about what this guy does, what they're going to bring to our team. So like it's not.
Well,
it's not really
going to go with 2 and 3 though.
Say it again.
Still hypothetical for 2 and 3.
Oh,
it's more near.
Right.
It's more
yeah.
narrow because we're getting rid of 32 guys. It actually makes it clears it up a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And to what you said, you can cross off one of those positions most likely. Well, unless you're JD and JD wants to draft like 4 DNs with our first 4 picks, but
Absolutely. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Yeah.
You were like, I was not expecting you. Like, I'm looking at Jared Ivey. I was like, really? I was like, I mean, I'm gonna run a full team full of DNs, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, JD compared him. He said Chris Jones vibes. So I mean, if Chris Jones vibes, he can play inside outside.
Yeah,
it's true.
Mm-hmm. So we got DeMonte Green Beans, Justin Blackwell. Thank you very much for coming in. Jaron Mitchell, appreciate it. Who else? Laura Zingser. That's how we say it, Laura. You got it right that time, Laura. Who else we got in here? Neff was in here. Appreciate it, Neff, for coming in, saying what's up. I know you probably sleep now. You're like, man, I'm going to bed. Shoot, I ain't dealing with y'all. Let me see. Who else was in? Yeah, Noah and John was in. So I think who's that? Dash? Was that you?
No, I don't know who that is. It's not one of us dashes. That's a different dash.
Different Dash? Okay.
It's a different dash, yeah.
Dashing around here.
Must be a big fan. He's named his YouTube channel after us.
There you go. Stanley Mooney was in here. No Name was in here as well. I think that's pretty much it, man. Joe E was in here. Dutch. What is that? The barbershop was in here. A lot of folks in here tonight.
A lot of folks.
Good.
A lot of folks.
Good. It's good. I hope y'all appreciate it. I like it. Daniel Longstaff. Okay. Trayvon Henderson is like what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, True Champ. Okay, True Champ was another one that was in here before. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it. If I get to say, name, you know what I feel, how we feel about you. Hannah, thank you so much. We will see y'all tomorrow. Matter of fact, these next few days. So come hang with us for a little bit so we can kind of run them out for a little bit more on the guys we get. But like always, man, y'all take care. God bless. We will see y'all tomorrow. Marcus, Tage, brothers, Dash brothers. Love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow, man. We'll holler at each other for sure, like we always do. Okay.
Tomorrow, let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Love
sir.
you guys.
You're good one.
Have a good night, guys. See you guys.
Right. Y'all be good. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.